Playing center field, number 2, Andrews Van. Batting second in right field, number 27, Shane.
Baseball is back at the Wren here at Ohio University as the Ohio Bobcats will take on the Marshall Thundering Herd this afternoon here on the campus of Ohio University. Gabe Genovese here with you alongside Logan LeDuc on Ohio Bobcat TV. Ohio enters this one against Marshall 17-18 overall, 5-7 in the Mid-American Conference. Marshall enters 16-17, 5-10 in the Conference USA. As these two teams met last night, Logan, a little home-and-home series here. Marshall took the first game, I should say yesterday afternoon. First pitch was at 3 yesterday. Marshall took the first game 6-2 from Ohio, and they did a lot of their damage with 2 outs.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly, 2 outs. Not a lot of hits were given up by the starter for Ohio, Shinsky, as he gave up just 5 hits. However, those hits were high-volume hits. Whether it was a 3-run shot or the solo shot, both of those on 2 outs, came back to really bite the Ohio Bobcats in the end, as the final score looked a lot worse than the game might have been. Yeah,
Shinsky gave up a 3-run home run with two outs, and that was probably the biggest hit of the game for Marshall, as Ohio just couldn't get anything going offensively. The Bobcats only had 5 hits yesterday against the Marshall Thundering Herd in the 6-2 loss, which dropped Ohio to 17-18. This is the first time Ohio's been under 500 since they were 4-5 earlier this season on March 2nd. Now we sit here in the middle of April. It hasn't been the best year for Rob Smith's ball club, but they've been teetering around 500 all year, and they dropped below it yesterday.
Yeah, to say the least, they've been mediocre all year. They've traded a win for a loss every other game, and even at home, just 4-3 here in Bob Wren Stadium. So they have been struggling out of the gate, trying to really find some consistency from game to game. Let's see if they can find it today.
And now we'll pause for the national anthem right here on Ohio Bobcat TV.
Thank you.
Back here at Bob Wren Stadium as Ohio takes the field first. Of course, Marshall will step up to the plate first here in the top of the first inning, and let's give you this Marshall lineup as Andrew Zaban will lead it off for the Thundering Herd. Zaban, a junior center fielder, batting .255 for Marshall this year. He's followed by Shane Hannon. Hannon batting .328. That is second on this Marshall team. Will Ray batting third today for the Marshall Thundering Herd. The senior first baseman is batting .289. Ronaldo Pastrana, the junior catcher, is the top hitter in this Marshall lineup, hitting .341. He bats cleanup. Peter Hutzel bats .273. He's the 5-hole today for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Tucker Linder, the redshirt senior left fielder, batting .294. He bats 6th. Dakota Robbins bats 7th, a .272 hitter. Cody Matthews bats 8th. He hits .298 in that 8th spot. That is third in the lineup today for the Marshall Thundering Herd. And Jordan Blanton The freshman shortstop has some speed, 13 for 14 in stolen bases this year is Blanton. He rounds it out and bats 9th for Marshall. On the mound today for the Ohio Bobcats, Michael Klein takes the hill. Klein is 3-1 on the year with a 4.5 ERA. Opponents bat .325 against Klein. This is Klein's 10th appearance of the season, his 8th start. 32 innings pitched for Klein. He's given up 39 hits, 17 runs, 16 of them earned. He's walked 14, struck out 17, and thrown a couple wild pitches as well, has Michael Klein, as he finishes up his warm-up pitches on the mound for the Bobcats. What are you looking for early from Klein, Logan?
Well, I'm looking to see how he comes out of the gate. What kind of stuff does he have? Obviously, a 3-1 record looks very good on paper, but he's also getting a lot of run support in those starts that he has. Because you look at his ERA, 4.50, that's getting up there a little bit. See if you can get the run support again and feel comfortable more on that mound.
Zaban, the junior center fielder, will lead it off for Marshall. These two teams, as we mentioned in the pregame, met yesterday, a 6-2 victory for the Thundering Herd. Marshall trying to complete the 2-game sweep of Ohio and get back to 500 at 17-17 as they sit at 16-17. Currently, Ohio trying to split this series and get back to 500 as well, as they sit at 17-18 overall on the year. Zaban, the junior, steps in the lefty's batter's box. He'll lead it off for Marshall this afternoon on a pretty nice afternoon right here in Athens, Ohio. Who would have thunk it? We can play baseball in over 40-degree weather. First pitch from Klein, and we're underway from just off of Richland Avenue. It's high and away, ball 1. Zaban bats from the left side. He's actually a righty out in the field in center. The 1-0 pitch misses high and away once again, 2-0.
And you mentioned the weather, Gabe. I mean, it could have been snowing today with the way the weather has been so far. We've had 80-degree weather, we've had 30-degree weather. Now we have a cool 60.
The 2-0 from Klein. Up high, same spot. High and away, 3-0 to Andrew Zaban. And
he seems to be painting that outside top corner there, trying to get him to chase a little bit, make him think early, but 3-0.
Now the pitch. That one catches the inside corner, 3-1 to Zaban.
Klein doing a great job of going inside after 3 straight outside pitches. It froze Zaban.
The 3-1 delivery from Klein misses just low, maybe a little bit outside, and Andrew Zaban's on with his 24th walk of the season. That leads the Marshall Thundering Herd, and even though he only has a .255 batting average, that's what you're looking for from your leadoff hitter, to get on base as much as possible. His on-base percentage is now .400.
Well, yeah, there's certainly a reason he's batting in that first spot. Get your guys on base, try to put some damage, and really get Klein thinking and sweating early.
Shane Hannon steps to the plate for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Andrew Zaban on first with a leadoff walk. No score between Ohio and Marshall here in the top of the first. The pitch from Klein. Up high at the chin of Hannon, 1-0.
So Klein has thrown 5 balls to 1 strike. He looks a little out of sorts right now on the mound.
Shane Hannon, a .328 hitter on the season, the redshirt junior. The 1-0. High and tight, 2 balls, no strikes, as Klein continues to struggle to find the strike zone.
I'd like to see him slow it down a little bit, take a little more time on that mound, think a little bit more, and try to place it better.
Klein sets, checks Zaban at first, and the pitch is fouled off, trickles down the third base line. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hannon. Hannon, the redshirt junior right fielder from Gig Harbor, Washington. Bats from the right side. Middle infield and double play depth for Ohio. Klein sets the 2-1 pitch. And never mind, Klein throws over, checks Zaban at first.
Zaban got some speed over there. 7 of 9 on stolen base attempts this season. Got to make him stay at first, make him hug that base.
And Zaban's going to take off for second. Klein steps off, throws to second. The second baseman, Levy, applies the tag, and Zaban going, well, on first move, even though Klein never moved. And he's caught stealing here pretty quickly.
And you know what? That does a lot for the psyche of Klein right now. Getting the guy that you just walked off and he can't hurt you anymore. Now you can just focus on the man at the plate and do your work there.
So now nobody on for the Thundering Herd. 1 down here in the top of the first. Still no score between Ohio and Marshall. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Count even at 2-2. Klein took something off of that one.
Again, yeah, looks a lot more relaxed. That's really all he needed was to get Zaban off the bases. And now he can really mix up the pitches.
The 2-2 pitch. Hard line drive into left center field, deep left center field. It one-hops the wall. Hannon rounding first. He'll head for second, and he's in there with a stand-up double, his 3rd double of the year. And with 1 down, Marshall has a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, that ball right down the middle of the plate. He didn't miss it, launched it to left field. Hannon, a very patient hitter. He won't swing at a bad pitch. Swung at a very good one right there and launched it to left.
Hannon bounces back. He was 0 for 4 yesterday against Ohio with a strikeout. Gets a pitch he likes from Klein on 2-2 and rips it into the left center field gap. And Marshall with a runner on second. 1 down here in the top of the first. Still no score between the Bobcats and the Thundering Herd, as the first pitch to Will Ray is high and outside for ball 1. Ray, a senior first baseman for Marshall, batting .289 on the season. Bats from the left side. Klein's a guy who's going to take his time, work slow on the mound for the Bobcats. Checks Hannon at second. Now the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. Ray with a runner in scoring position in Hannon. 18 RBIs on the year. He's got a duck on the pond here in the first. The pitch, ground ball right side toward the second baseman, Levy. Levy makes the play easily, fires to Rote. 2 down. The ground ball moves Hannon to third with 2 outs.
But now here we are. We're in the situation. 2 outs. Can Klein get out of this inning unscathed? It's a lot more difficult when you have a man at third. However, with 2 outs, a fly to outfield isn't going to do anything for the Herd. See if he can put away Pastrana at the plate. However, Pastrana, easily the most dangerous batter in this Herd lineup, as you mentioned.
You said it. Pastrana hitting cleanup, a .341 hitter on the season. Leads the team in average at .341, doubles with 12, and RBIs with 31. First pitch from Klein. Hard line drive, deep left field. That ball back and gone. It hits the netting just beyond the .340 sign in left. Pastrana hits his 6th home run of the year, and Marshall leads 2-0 here in the first.
Zero hesitation. First pitch of the at-bat, and he got a great bat on it. The left fielder, Picnic, he knew it was gone as soon as it hit the bat. He didn't even make an attempt at going back to the wall. And Pastrana, we just mentioned, he's the most dangerous hitter in the lineup. He does damage early, 2-0.
Picks up RBIs, number 32 and 33 on the year, and the junior catcher puts Marshall ahead 2-0 here in the top half of the first inning. That brings up Peter Hutzel for the Thundering Herd. First pitch from Klein. High and away, ball 1. Klein has struggled to find the strike zone early, and when he has, he's put it right down the middle. And Hannon ripped the double. Pastrana with a 2-run bomb as the 1-0 to Hutzel is in there for a strike at the knees, count even at 1-1.
Yeah, Klein can really ill afford to be out there anymore in this inning.
The pitch, high above the head, also outside. 2-1 to Peter Hutzel, who bats .273 from the left side. Quite a few lefties in this Marshall lineup early as Ray takes a ball. Klein on the year, 3-1 for Ohio, a 4.5 ERA. Now the pitch, inside, ball 4. So Klein issues his second walk of the first inning. 2 down, Hutzel takes his base at first. Tucker Linder steps up to the plate for the Thundering Herd, already a 2-0 lead.
And Klein shaking his head, already sweating a little bit, trying to adjust his arm, he's grabbing his shoulder. He's not really having anything go his way right now. And you have to wonder, what is his mental image right now in his head? How is he going to find that strike zone? It's kind of, it's really haunted him so far.
First pitch to Linder. It's in there for a strike, and quickly McCauley fires down to first, and they got Hutzel. Nice little play by McCauley as Hutzel started to take off and stopped after a few steps and then got caught too far off the bag. But Marshall strikes a couple of runs on a couple of hits, and they lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on Ohio Bobcat TV. In the top of the first for Ohio, and they lead the Bobcats 2-0 as we head to the home half of the first inning. Devin Garcia will lead it off for Ohio, followed by Evan Bourne and Rudy Rote. And while we're at it, we'll just give you the whole Ohio lineup. Tanner Picnic follows Rote, batting 4th. Michael Klein batting 5th today for Ohio. Dan McCauley in the 6th hole behind the plate for the Bobcats. Aaron Levy batting 7th. Tony Giannini batting 8th at 3rd today for the Bobcats. And Traben Funderburg, the freshman shortstop, rounds it out for Ohio. Philip Hoffman is on the mound this afternoon for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Hoffman making just his 7th appearance of the season for Marshall. A 0-0 record, a 6.35 ERA. Opponents bat .227 against Hoffman. Hoffman, in those 6 appearances, has pitched 5.2 innings. He's given up 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts for Hoffman, as the righty will face Devin Garcia here in the bottom of the first. Ohio trying to strike back, already trailing 2-0.
I know Devin Garcia 0 for 3 yesterday. We had a lot of 0 fors yesterday. We're looking to see if the bats can get going, and we need those bats already being down 2-0.
First pitch to Garcia. Ground ball up the middle. The shortstop Blanton fires over to first and retires Garcia. 1 down. Nice play by Blanton to range to his left and fire across the diamond.
Yeah, Blanton also able to adjust his body position because it took a roll over that pitcher's mound and kind of had an awkward bounce, but it did not phase him. He's able to get right on it and fire over to first for the first out of the inning.
That'll bring up Evan Bourne for Ohio, and Bourne, the senior right fielder, bats from the left side. First pitch from Hoffman. Misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Bourne, the senior from Overland Park, Kansas. The 1-0 pitch. At the knees, count even at 1-1.
And Bourne only played in 18 games so far this season, starting in 11. So
the 1-1 pitch misses outside, 2-1.
So he's not really completely adjusted into the season just yet. Probably trying to find his footing. He's had a good 244 average so far. See if he can put some damage here in the bottom half of the first.
The 2-1, way inside. It hits Bourne on the front leg, and he's going to take his base. Not much of a limp down there at first, but he'll feel that one tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's a hard rocket right at your ankle coming from a college pitcher. That's tough to take. I was just mentioning how he needs to do some damage in this inning, and instead he takes some damage to his ankle. Looks like he's all right, though.
As Rudy Rote steps to the plate for Ohio, and Rote's the one you want up if you're the Bobcats. Easily the best hitter in this Ohio lineup, batting .359 on the season. Rote leads Ohio in nearly every offensive category. First pitch to him. Down low in the dirt, a nice block by the catcher Robbins, 1-0.
Rudy Rote also a very clutch hitter, had that walk-off just a couple of games ago. He's the exact kind of guy you want to get this offense going.
Had the walk-off homer last week in Shawnee State. The 1-0 pitch. Down low, inside, 2 balls, no strikes to Rote, the junior first baseman from home in Wisconsin.
He's been Mr. Reliable, played in all 35 games so far this season. Can he be reliable here?
Rote hasn't missed a game in almost 2 years for the Bobcats, as he played in all 52 last season as well. The 2-0. Down low, almost the same spot. A nice block by Robbins once again. 3 balls, no strikes to Rote. Bourne stands on first for Ohio. Marshall already up on Ohio 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Yeah, the release from Hoffman so far is kind of like a little awkward. He releases it a little late, and that's why he's finding so many pitches down low and in the dirt.
And I'm curious to see if Rote's going to have the green light here on 3-0. The pitch. Down low, ball 4. So Hoffman hits Bourne. A 4-pitch walk to Rudy Rote now, and the Bobcats have runners on first and second with 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
And Hoffman, a very similar start to what Klein had. Couldn't find the strike zone, and that's really what led to the 2 runs in the top half of the inning. So can the Bobcats do the exact same and give the Herd a little bit of their own medicine?
In steps Tanner Picnic for Ohio. Bourne on second, Rote on first. 1 down. Ohio trailing Marshall 2-0. Picnic, the sophomore, bats from the right side. First pitch to him. Curveball misses high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Picnic, second in average on this Ohio team with a .321 average from the right side.
Second in slugging percentage.
The pitch. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes to the sophomore.
Hoffman really struggling out there. Looks at the scoreboard, trying to gain himself.
Again, this is just Philip Hoffman's 7th appearance of the year for Marshall. 2-0 to Picnic. Misses low and away. It gets away from the catcher Robbins, and both runners move up 90 feet. The count now 3-0 on Picnic. Bourne moves to third. Rote moves to second. Still only 1 down. And now we're going to have a mound visit here early in the first for Marshall.
And they're going to need, they have to calm him down a little bit. He keeps targeting that bottom right corner, or I should say left corner, and it hasn't led to any success. It's led to a hit by pitch and a walk. And they're trying to see if he can find a different part of the zone to attack and try to fool these Ohio hitters.
Hoffman making his first start of the season for Marshall. As I just mentioned, only a 7th appearance, but everything has been in relief. Everything's been out of the bullpen. This is the first time he has started for the Thundering Herd, just a freshman.
That brings on a whole nother set of challenges. You're a freshman coming into your first really start in collegiate play. It's tough.
The 3-0 to Picnic. Right down the heart of the plate, 3-1.
And that mound visit seemed to actually really relax him there. It was a much more confident throw, much more confident motion that he had there on that pitch.
Rode on second, Bourne on third for Ohio. One down here in the bottom of the first. Ohio trailing 2-0. They count 3-1 to Tanner Picnic. The 3-1 pitch. Off speed, misses low and away, and that's 2 straight walks, and, well, he hit Bourne. So a hit by pitch, walk in the last 3 batters for Philip Hoffman. And Michael Klein will step up to the plate for the Bobcats with a chance to help himself out.
Couldn't ask for any more if you're a hitter right now. 3 guys on. However, Klein, just a 211 hitter. Gotta be weary of a double play ball, too, that would end the inning and really stop any kind of momentum that we might have built up in this inning.
You said it, Klein bats from the right side, only hitting .211 this season. He had a heck of a year last season for the Bobcats. First pitch to Klein, curveball misses low and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
And Hoffman is just all out of sorts right now. And you can hear the Ohio dugout right now. Really starting to get into it, starting to frustrate him, making some noises, yelling, and it's starting to get to Hoffman. You can tell.
Klein hit .300 last season with 38 RBIs. He could use a couple here. The 1-0. Smacked high and deep to left field. The left fielder Linder going back, and he'll watch it go over his head. A grand slam for Michael Klein. And Ohio leads 4-2 over Marshall here in the bottom of the first inning. Klein's 4th home run of the year. And he'll touch them all and give Ohio a 2-run lead.
Well, that 2-0 lead didn't last very long for the Herd. Michael Klein, the pitcher, doing some damage from the mound and to the plate on a grand slam. And that had to feel good for him, especially with the average he has right now. And obviously, he has 3 home runs, so he does have some power to him. He had 3 home runs, now 4 on that grand slam, and he ripped it.
First pitch now to Dan McCauley, high and away, 1-0. And you said it, Klein got a hold of that one. And now the 1-0 to McCauley. Misses low and away, 2 balls, no strikes as Hoffman continues to struggle. Michael Klein with a grand slam to give Ohio a 4-2 lead. The 2-0. Catches the outside corner, 2-1. Dan McCauley, the redshirt freshman catcher, batting .234 from the right side. Now the pitch. Misses low and away, 3 balls and 1 strike.
And back on Michael Klein, we talked about the .211 average, but sometimes that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about him at the plate. Because look at the 4 home runs. He likes to just hit and swing for the fences.
The pitch. That one lined into right center field, and it gets down. The right fielder Hannon cuts it off. McCauley going for 2. It'll be a close play, and he dives in. He's safe. McCauley in there with a 1-out double. And the Bobcats just keep it rolling. McCauley's 2nd double of the season. He's on second with just 1 down, and Aaron Levy steps to the plate.
Yeah, that throw by Hannon from right field, it was just a little bit short of Hutzel's grab, and he had to try to dive and make the out, and by then, it was a safe double there for the Bobcats.
Aaron Levy, the freshman second baseman, bats from the left side for Ohio. McCauley stands on second, and they're going to appeal to first, and McCauley did touch the bag, so he's still safe at second. Levy, a .254 hitter. Waves the bat above his back shoulder. Now the first pitch from Philip Hoffman. Low and inside, another nice block by Dakota Robbins behind the plate. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Robbins been doing work back there so far, moving just about everywhere behind the plate, as Hoffman really can't find a consistent spot into the strike zone. And he hasn't really been high on any of his pitches. They've all been very low.
The 1-0 pitch, way inside. Levy gets out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes to the freshman. Levy comes to Ohio from Princeton High School in Cincinnati. His best 2 seasons at Princeton came over his sophomore and junior years in high school. Now the 2-0 popped up, foul territory, right directly behind home plate. Count now 2-1.
And Gabe, remember how this inning started? It was a first pitch ground out. And ever since then, Ohio, it just can't be stopped. Their offense is impenetrable, and Hoffman really, really struggling.
Levy hit .310 over those sophomore and junior seasons at Princeton High School. Now the 2-1. Off speed, misses high and tight. 3 balls and 1 strike to Levy. He led his team in hits and RBIs over those sophomore and junior seasons. Now here at Ohio, having a decent year, 3rd on the team in RBIs with 18. The 3-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Hoffman challenges Levy there, threw in right down the heart of the plate.
Yeah, great pitch. He trusted it, and that's the biggest thing. He needs to start trusting his pitches and understand that he can do work on the mound.
McCauley stands on second for Ohio, a 4-2 lead for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 1st. Now the 3-2. Misses low, just below the knees. And that is the 3rd walk of the inning for the Bobcats. Levy is now on first. That brings up Tony Giannini for Ohio. Giannini, who bats from the right side. A .259 hitter on the year, will try to keep this inning going for Ohio. The Bobcats lead 4-2 on a Michael Klein grand slam here in the bottom of the 1st.
Hey, Gabe, that was a big 3-2 at bat. Could have gone one way or the other on that pitch, and right now the Herd really needed that pitch to put 2 outs on, because with Giannini at the plate, obviously he's also played in all 35 games. He's got a lot of power coming in at the bottom part of the lineup, and with 2 guys on, I mean, the nightmare might not be over so far for Hoffman.
First pitch now to Giannini, misses outside, 1-0. Not the collegiate first start that Philip Hoffman was looking for, and I think he might be done. We'll see what Marshall decides to do here, and they're going to go to the pen. So we're going to take a short couple-minute break. We're going to see who the new pitcher is, and we'll give you his numbers when we come back. Ohio's already struck 4 times on a Michael Klein grand slam here in the bottom of the 1st. They lead 4-2. We'll be right back on Ohio Bobcat TV. For the Marshall Thundering Herd, as we're still in the bottom of the 1st inning here at Bob Wren. Philip Hoffman, the starter for Marshall, making his first collegiate start. Gives up 4 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks here in the 1st inning, and now Sam Boone replaces Hoffman. Boone, the 6'8" junior righty out of Shoreline, Washington. On in relief for Marshall here in the bottom of the 1st. The count already 1-0 on Giannini. First pitch down low in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes now to Giannini.
I tell you what, he looks like all of that 6'8" listing right there on the mound. He is intimidating to look at.
McCauley stands on second after the double off of Hoffman. Levy on first for Ohio. The Bobcats leading 4-2 here in the bottom of the first. The 2-0 to Giannini. Misses low and in, 3 balls and no strikes, and it seems like whoever Marshall puts out there, they can't find the strike zone.
No, it has eluded them, to say the least, and he's coming into a situation with 2 guys on. You don't want to load him up again.
The 3-0. Below the knees, ball 4. Giannini takes, and now the base is juiced once again for Ohio here in the first.
I tell you what, it really hurts when you don't get those borderline calls, too. Sitting, already giving up 4 runs in this inning. I mean, it feels like this inning has gone on for a good 30 minutes at this point, you know. And when you don't get those borderline pitches, it really starts affecting your psyche and how you approach every batter at the plate.
And you said it feels like it's gone on for 30 minutes because it has. This game is 30 minutes in, and we're not out of the first inning as Traben Funderburg steps to the plate for Ohio. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch. Curveball misses low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Funderburg, the freshman, playing shortstop for Ohio, in the lineup in replace of Hafner for Ohio. Trevor Hafner, the normal shortstop for the Bobcats, has been hurt the last few games. The 1-0 pitch catches the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike to Funderburg as Hafner, the transfer from Sinclair Community College, just a sophomore, comes to Ohio. And he was having a pretty good year, but he gets hurt about a week ago, and Funderburg, the freshman, has replaced him at short. The 1-1 pitch, off speed, in there at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Funderburg, and this is something we haven't seen a lot today.
Yeah.
A Marshall pitcher ahead in the count.
Yeah, you said it. And you know what, Funderburg, for him, this is a great opportunity for him, playing in relief of Hafner with 3 guys on, you know, trying to put up some more runs.
The 1-2 pitch, curveball, hard ground ball to second. Hutzel flips it to the shortstop. Blanton fires to first, and they double him up. A much-needed 4-6-3 double play for Sam Boone to get Marshall out of the inning. But Ohio strikes 4 runs on a couple of hits and 4 walks. They leave 3 left aboard. And Ohio leads 4-2 heading into the top of the second. We'll be right back on Ohio Bobcat TV. Marshall 2 as we head to the top of the second here at Bob Wren Stadium. The Bobcats get 4 runs on a grand slam from Michael Klein in the bottom of the first to take a 4-2 lead. Klein started this game on the mound for Ohio, gave up a couple of hits, a couple of runs, and now with this being a midweek game, Corey Blessing will come in to replace Klein on the mound. Blessing, the redshirt senior righty from Mayfield, Ohio. In his last appearance, Blessing pitched 2 perfect innings in the 4-3 loss to Eastern Michigan last weekend. First pitch now to Tucker Linder in there for a strike.
And Linder, he was redshirted as a freshman in 2013 at Kent State. Didn't play in 2014, threw an inning in 2015 for Galveston Junior College.
As that pitch is bunted, Blessing picks it up right of the mound, fires to first, and they get Linder. Linder's got some speed on the base pass when he gets on. He's 8 for 9 in stolen bases this season, but couldn't quite get the bunt down the third base line enough. Blessing made a nice play.
And I was going to mention earlier, like, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities in the past. Finally, as a junior, getting a good chance here with the Herd. And that time almost beat out the throw.
And that brings up Dakota Robbins for Marshall. Robbins, the senior catcher, bats from the left side against the righty Blessing, and he checks his swing. He went around, no balls, 1 strike to Robbins. Blessing on the year for Ohio, 2-3 with a save in 29 innings pitched. A 3.72 ERA as the curveball drops below the knees of Robbins, count even at 1-1.
And I like his pitching method. The way he dips that right shoulder on the windup, it prohibits the hitter from being able to guess what pitch is coming.
The 1-1 popped up, actually I should say fouled, off right behind the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Robbins.
And Klein might have not had the greatest start to this game on the mound, but I tell you what, at the plate, he did plenty for Ohio.
Blessing sets the 1-2 delivery down low in the dirt, count even at 2-2. Robbins, a .272 hitter on the year, 3rd on the Marshall squad in doubles with 7. Now the 2-2 from Blessings. Popped up. Median depth center field, shallow center field, I should say. Garcia coming on, he makes the grab. He called off the shortstop Funderburg. 2 down here in the second for the Herd, still 4-2 Ohio.
Great communication by the 2. Garcia able to find his spot at center, wave them off, and he was really loud. You could even hear him calling the ball from where we're sitting, and he made sure Funderburg didn't get in the way. Funderburg was kind of tracking back, kind of off balance. Garcia, much better spot, a much better, easier grab for him, and he makes the catch.
And that'll bring up the 8-hole Cody Matthews for Marshall. Matthews, the senior third baseman, batting .298 from the right side. First pitch from Blessing, low and inside, 1-0. Cody Matthews trying to prevent the 1-2-3 inning for Marshall here in the top half of the second. 1-0 from Blessing, hard ground ball towards second. Levy fields it on a hop, fires to first, and that'll do it. Corey Blessing does his job, a 1-2-3 second inning. Ohio leads 4-2. We head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back from the Wren in Athens. 4-2 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. Ohio batted through 1 through 9 in the first, so Devin Garcia leads it off once again here in the second for Ohio. First pitch from Sam Boone, high and tight, 1-0. Garcia saw one pitch to lead off the first inning for Ohio. He grounded out to the shortstop Blanton his first time up. The pitch fouled off behind the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike to the junior.
And D. Gar in 2017, he had 6 multi-hit games, 3 multi-RBI games. Obviously has been held in check today, 0 for 1. He was 0 for 3 yesterday as well, looking to finally break that streak.
The 1-1 pitch, hard line drive, slicing foul out of play down the first base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garcia. You said it, Garcia 0 for 3 yesterday, did have an RBI for the Bobcats. 1 of 2, and the 1-2 pitch, a curveball, misses high. Count even 2-2 to Garcia. Sam Boone on the mound for Marshall, already in relief. The 2-2 misses high and tight. Count now full on Devin Garcia. Philip Hoffman in his first start with the Herd as a freshman gives up 4 runs in the first inning and gets pulled quickly. The 3-2 swung on and missed strike 3. Boone gets his first strikeout of the afternoon, and that'll bring up Evan Bourne for Ohio.
Due up for your Bobcats, number 9.
You can just see Boone has really commanded that mound. Really confident in every single throw, mixing up the pitches, painting the corners, and even on that pitch, I mean, that was just a strike straight down the middle of the plate, but it had so much heat on it that Devin Garcia couldn't catch up to it.
First pitch to the lefty, Evan Bourne. Curveball misses low and inside, 1-0. Bourne was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat by Philip Hoffman. Hit him right on the front leg. The 1-0 pitch. That time high and tight, 2 balls, no strikes to Bourne. Bourne 1 for 2 yesterday in Huntington, West Virginia. The 2-0 pitch. Hard line drive to deep right field, and the right fielder, Hannon, settles under it. He makes the grab at the warning track over by the 380 sign. 2 down here in the second.
Due up for the Bobcats, number 26.
Hannon doing a great job. He never lost that ball in the clouds. Very cloudy day. That usually makes it fairly difficult for fielders to see the ball, but he read it perfectly, ranged to his right, and made the grab.
And that'll bring up Rudy Rote for Ohio. Rote walked his first time up. Scored on that grand slam by Michael Klein. First pitch to Rote, high and away, 1-0. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Ohio leads Marshall 4-2. The 1-0 to Rote. Curveball drops in there at the belt, 1-1.
I got to say, I'm pretty surprised to only see 2 hits on the board for the Bobcats. Like we said, how the Herd did it yesterday, they hit for volume, and they're making the most of each at-bat.
The 1-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 2 as that ball was down in the dirt. Rote chased it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the junior, and you said it, only 2 hits for Ohio. Here's how the first inning went. Hit by pitch, walk, grand slam. The 1-2. High and away, count even to Rote, 2-2. McCauley then doubled after the grand slam, and then again, walk. So Ohio had the bases loaded twice. As Rote grounds 1 foul down the first baseline. Count stays at 2-2. But 4 walks and a hit by pitch in that first inning by Hoffman and Boone. The 2-2 to Rote. Curveball inside corner, got him looking. Rote goes down looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Sam Boone. A couple of strikeouts as well in Ohio. No runs on no hits, nobody left aboard. 4-2 Bobcats. We head to the third. We'll be right back from Athens. Leads it off for Marshall here in the third inning. Blanton, the 9-hole hitter, followed by Andrew Zaban and Shane Hannon, the 9-1-2 hitters for the Thundering Herd here in the top half of the third inning. 4-2, the Ohio lead over Marshall as we head to the top of the third. Corey Blessing still on the mound for the Bobcats. Blessing pitched a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Now Blanton steps up, his first at-bat of the afternoon. The pitch. Right down the heart of the plate, 0-1.
And the relief pitchers for both Marshall and Ohio have done a great job of really calming down the game. You know, we had a combined 6 runs in the first inning and then a scoreless second. They're doing a great job.
The 0-1 to Blanton. Misses just off the outside edge. 1 ball and 1 strike to the freshman. Both teams with freshman shortstops today as Blanton plays short for Marshall. The pitch popped up on the infield. High fly ball. Levy settling under it on the grass. Makes the grab. 1 down.
And that's pretty impressive to have 2 freshman shortstops. A lot of people say it's the toughest position to play in baseball, and to have 2 guys coming in to play collegiate baseball and obviously being good enough to be out there, that's impressive.
As that brings up the top of the order for Marshall, Andrew Zaban walked his first time up, ended up getting caught stealing as he left too early, and Klein on the mound just picked him off at second. First pitch to Zaban, off speed in there for strike 1.
Pretty pitch by Blessing there.
The 0-1. Another high pop-up, foul territory. McCauley going back, and that'll sail just out of play. It lands on the hardwood right in front of us. Count now 0-2 on Zaban.
And Gabe, you notice a very different pitching style that Blessing has than Klein. Klein, very slow, very deliberate with everything he does. But you look at Blessing, I mean, he doesn't waste any time getting that ball from the mound to the plate.
Works quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blessing the righty, Zaban the lefty. The 0-2 pitch. Got him looking. At the knees, Zaban can't believe it. He thought it was inside, maybe a little low. But Blessing gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 down here in the third.
Yeah, he slowly tried to back to the dugout there. Kind of looked at the ump. He didn't like the call. We'll take it, though.
And that'll bring up Shane Hannon for Marshall. Hannon with his 3rd double of the year, his first time up. Ended up scoring on the 2-run home run by Pastrana. First pitch. Catches the outside edge, 0-1. Ohio 4, Marshall 2 here in the top of the third. 2 down for the Thundering Herd. Shane Hannon trying to keep the inning alive. The 0-1 pitch misses high and away. Count even at 1-1. Hannon went 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday in the 6-2 Marshall victory. Had to feel good to get that double in the first inning. The pitch just misses, low and inside, 2-1. The pitch. This one popped up, shallow left field. The shortstop Funderburg settles under it and makes the grab. Corey Blessing, 2 straight, 3 up, 3 down innings, 6 straight retired, and we'll head to the bottom of the third. 4-2 Ohio. We'll be right back from the Wren. Run. That's a walk. Ground out to second. Tanner Picnic leads it off for Ohio here in the bottom of the third. The Bobcats lead Marshall 4-2. First pitch to Picnic from Sam Boone. Popped up out of play behind the plate, 0-1. Picnic walked his first time up. Came around to score on the grand slam by Michael Klein. Pick bats from the right side, the 0-1 pitch. Low below the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. Picnic, a .321 hitter. Now the 1-1. He checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Boone now ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tanner Picnic, second on this Ohio team in average at .321, doubles with 8, home runs with 6. The 1-2 pitch misses in. Oh no, we run him up. Picnic had to move out of the way, but they're going to say Boone gets the inside corner. That's his 3rd strikeout in the last 4 batters. And there's 1 down here in the 3rd.
Yeah, he has really settled into a great rhythm. And you can see he's just oozing confidence on the mound. He's already ready to go and pitch this one. But now facing Klein, the man who had the grand slam in the first inning.
And Michael Klein steps up. First pitch from Boone. Off speed in the dirt. 1-0, and Klein hit the grand slam off of the starter, Philip Hoffman. He has not seen Sam Boone yet. Klein just a .211 hitter coming into today. The grand slam raised his average to .219 as he watches a strike in the outside corner. 1-1. Ohio 4 runs on a couple of hits in this ball game. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, Boone has got some power in that arm, the way he throws that. I mean, no one can catch up to it so far. The fastball has really bothered the Bobcats.
The 1-2, high and tight, and that hit Klein. Clipped his front shoulder. And he'll take his base. That'll bring up Dan McCauley for Ohio.
Dan McCauley.
McCauley bats from the right side. Doubled his first time up in the first inning. Got stranded at 3rd as Funderburg grounded into the 4-6-3 double play to end the first. Boone checks Klein, now delivers. Way high above the head of McCauley, 1-0. McCauley did not play yesterday in Huntington. McCauley now 5 for 15 in his last, well, this being game number 6. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled off directly behind home plate, count even at 1-1.
And Ohio really likes McCauley because he is a really great defensive catcher, and that's what he's really known for. But being able to do some work at the plate just makes him that much more of a diverse player and a much more dangerous player, to say the least.
Klein leads off of first, 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ohio leading Marshall 4-2. And now they'll check Klein. Klein barely has to dive back, only had a couple of steps over there at first. McCauley redshirted last year for Ohio. The redshirt freshman from Pittsburgh. And they'll check Klein once again. Klein really not a threat to steal. Hasn't attempted a stolen base all year.
Yeah, it's a curious throw over.
Middle infield and double play depth for the Herd. The 1-1. Curveball. Just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's a nice pitch from Sam Boone.
Oh, yeah, had a lot of movement on it. I'm surprised McCauley was able to hold off, honestly.
Marshall in their road gray unis today. Green numbers, green lettering on the front. The pitch. McCauley fouls one off. Once again, directly behind home plate near us. Count even at 2-2. Ohio in their home whites. Green numbers, green lettering. Ohio getting new Adidas uniforms this year. Fans had some mixed reactions about the unis.
Really?
The 2-2. McCauley grounds one to short. Blanton fields it on a couple of hops. Flips to second for one, to first, and they got him. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning for the Herd, and Ohio can't strike once again. We'll head to the fourth. 4-2 the Ohio lead. Logan LeDuc will have some play-by-play when we come back on Ohio Bobcat TV.
Action. Ohio leads it 4-2 as we enter the top of the fourth inning. Coming to the plate for Marshall is Will Ray, the senior first baseman, batting .286 on the season, and he awaits Blessing's first pitch. Here it comes, and that's a first called strike to start at the top of the fourth. Blessing has been perfect and really a blessing for Ohio on the mound as he has really calmed down this game and found a great rhythm as he sets fires. The second pitch is outside. That brings up 1-1 to Ray. Blessing settles himself. He kicks and deals. This one's popped up high. Going back is Funderburg, called off by the left fielder, and the catch is made by Picnic. One out here in the top of the fourth, as Ohio able to get the leadoff hitter.
7 up, 7 down for Blessing.
And Pastrana coming to the plate. Obviously, we mentioned easily the most dangerous hitter, as we'll have a talk on the mound right now.
Blessing's day might be done.
And Blessing, a very pure day so far. He's earned himself a nice rest. We'll see. And we will indeed go to the bullpen. So we'll bring you back in just a moment to find out who is coming on the mound for the Bobcats when we come back on Ohio Bobcat TV. For Ohio, we're just in the fourth inning, Gabe.
Yeah, midweek game for the Bobcats, non-conference, midweek. Head coach Rob Smith's going to get a lot of pitchers in. Obviously, it's not like he's not trying to win the ball game,
right.
but he's not going to have anyone go longer than a few innings. Yesterday, Cole Shinsky pitched 4 innings to start, and then everybody else was just an inning apiece for Ohio, as they've got a crucial Mid-American Conference series coming up with Kent State this weekend. The Bobcats currently tied for 6th in the Mid-American Conference. Ball State has the tiebreaker. Ohio sits in 7th place right now in the MAC, trying to sneak into that top 6 as we head down the stretch here in conference play.
So Pastrana coming to the plate. Starting out the at-bat, 1 out, 4-2 ball game from Athens. Ohio on top. We'll see Chase Harris throw his first pitch here as Pastrana settles in, and he's ready. The 0-0 pitch on its way, and it's outside in the top right corner, 1-0. Chase Harris settles in, the second pitch on its way, and high and inside. So he's working the plate so far already. 2 very different pitches. Has not fooled Pastrana, though, a 2-0 count with 1 out. Harris's pitch. This one swung on and lifted to deep left. Going back is Picnic. He's out of room. It's out of here. And the Marshall Herd, just like that, cut the lead to 1. 4-3 on the solo shot from Pastrana.
Ohio can't stop this dude. Pastrana, he's the Marshall offense. 2 home runs, a 2-run shot in the first, and now a solo shot here in the 4th. And Ohio still has a 4-3 lead, but if it weren't for Ronaldo Pastrana, this ball game would be a much
different look for sure.
Much different game. Definitely not way out of reach, but without Pastrana, it's a 4-0 ball game.
So Hutzel now at the plate for the Marshall Herd. He takes the first one outside for a ball and low. So first batter that Chase Harris sees, he gives up a solo shot to Pastrana. The 1-0 pitch is high and outside, 2-0. And Hutzel, the second baseman, the sophomore, batting .273 on the year. As Chase Harris kind of gathers himself on the mound. The righty to the lefty should favor Hutzel in this situation. Chase Harris, he kicks, he deals. This one swung on and popped up just behind us. Might hit the roof as the catcher tries to settle under it. It's just outside of the field. A lot of fans moving, a lot of people trying not to get hit by that ball on a scramble to get away from it. Ball comes just short of our booth up here.
That ball could not have been any closer to staying in play.
And Robbins really almost made a play on it, the catcher for Marshall. This one swung on and grounded right. It's going to get just by the second baseman. And Hutzel is aboard on first. Levy tried to dive out for it and make the play. That ball was a slow grounder, but had an awkward bounce. Tough to really gauge where and when it would get past them. So Linder to the plate. The senior bats from the right, .291 average. 0 for 1 on the day. He was 1 for 3 yesterday against Ohio, and he awaits the first pitch. Chase Harris taking a little more time. The pitch, and a swing and a miss. That's Chase Harris. A beautiful pitch right down the center of the plate. Might have been a little low. As Chase Harris, remember he gave up the solo shot just a moment ago. Then he gave up the single. So not exactly the start he would have wanted as he throws over to first to try to keep Hutzel at bay. Linder, the left fielder, awaits the pitch. And here it comes. Low and outside, ball. Brings the count to 1-1. It's 4-3 in the top of the fourth from Athens. Bobcats on top of Marshall. Marshall with 4 hits, Ohio with 2, but Ohio leads on the scoreboard in runs. Chase Harris settles, throws, and a stolen base here. Throw over to second. Ball gets away from Picnic. And instead of 1 single base, 2. As Hutzel was able to first beat out the throw to second, ball was bobbled, and then he made his way over to third. And just like that, the Herd have a man on third trying to come home.
And great throw from Dan McCauley there. Behind the plate, Aaron Levy just couldn't hold on to it. And I couldn't tell from here if Hutzel slid in to Levy's arm maybe, and he kind of bobbled it and lost it, but Levy couldn't hold on, and Hutzel takes a couple of bags.
So now Linder working in a 2-1 count. Has his buddy Hutzel at third, trying to bring him home. Chase Harris. The 2-1 offering is just in there for a strike. Nice pitch from Chase Harris. Brings the count to even. I know a big 2-2 pitch right here for Ohio, trying to fend off this rally by Marshall. Chase Harris settles, deals. Low and outside, they'll go to first for the call. He did not go on the check swing. So it brings up a full count, 3-2. As Chase Harris really struggling so far, coming on in relief as the third pitcher for Ohio. A 3-2 count, a 4-3 ball game. Ohio leads. Here's the pitch. This one's put on the ground, a soft liner to third, picked up, thrown over to first, and got him. But not before a run crosses the board on the sack. So Hutzel scores 4-4. Marshall, 2 runs in the inning, has tied up this game as Chase Harris trying to find some way to get out of this inning without any more damage.
Yeah, nice little RBI ground out for Linder, and he does his job whether he wanted to do it that way or not. Nice little slow roller to Giannini at third, and Giannini had no play at the plate. We're tied up.
So Chase Harris's ERA climbs to 9. And it looks as though his day will be done, unless they'll just talk it over. While they talk it over, we'll take a break.
And we're going to have a pitching change.
As we do indeed have a pitching change. We'll bring it back in just a moment. It's a tie ball game from Athens on Ohio Bobcats TV.
Why does it say outfielder?
2 hits, 2 runs to tie up the game at 4. Bobcats will bring in their 4th pitcher of the game. We're just in the top of the 4th. A tie game, 4-4, as Brett Manis, the freshman, the lefty pitcher, will make his way to the mound.
Manis, the freshman, as you said, from Port Huron, Michigan. As he was ranked the 4th best left-handed pitcher, the 32nd best player in all in Michigan by PBR, Prep Baseball Report.
As Robbins, the senior for Marshall, steps into bat. Manis' first pitch is low and outside for a ball. Brings up 1-0. 4-4 game, top of the 4th from the Wren in Athens. You can see Manis already ready to pitch. Works quickly. The second pitch is fouled off to the right side. Brett Manis, once again throwing from his left, a 0 ERA. Looking to try to put his name out there as a freshman and get out of this inning that has really been unkind to the Bobcats, as the second pitch is chopped off and foul to the left side. 1-2 the count, 2 outs as Manis trying to get out of this inning.
You mentioned the 0 ERA. That's not just a fluke for Manis. He's been excellent for Ohio this season.
Breaking ball just missed on the inside corner. Brings up 2-2, 2 outs for Manis. A 4-4 game.
This is his 11th appearance. Manis no runs in 6 2/3 inning.
The 2-2 pitch outside brings up a full count as Manis, who was just ahead in the count a moment ago, pitches 2 straight balls to make it full. Robbins, the catcher for Marshall, is a .268 hitter. And here comes the pitch. He grounds it to second. Scooped, gloved, throw it onto first, and that'll retire the inning. As a nice play made by Levy to retire the batter. It's 4-4 as we head to the bottom of the 4th from Athens. Bobcats and Marshall. We'll see you in just a moment on Ohio Bobcat TV. Marshall and Ohio. Boone stands at the mound. He's done great work so far in relief for Marshall. Last half inning, or I should say the top half of this inning, Marshall 2 hits, 2 runs to tie up the game at 4. Both teams have been seeing the pitches well. We've seen a couple home runs today, a grand slam, and then a home run, of course, from Marshall. As Levy will step into bat. A .254 hitter. And when he leads off, he has a .302 average. I'd like to have a guy on base to start out the inning. And here comes Boone's first pitch. This one is ripped down the right field line. It stays fair just over the head and the outstretched arm of Ray, as Levy is aboard to start out the the bottom of the 4th.
Nice little piece of hitting there from Aaron Levy. Gets a first pitch off, speed pitch, waits back and bloops one out to right field, a leadoff single. You said it, when he leads off the inning, he hits .302. And he's on with a leadoff single here in the 4th.
And Tony Giannini, the third baseman, has played in all 35 games. He steps in, 259 average, and here comes Boone's first pitch. Boone throws back to first. Nothing going there. As on the day, Giannini, 0 for 0. He was, as this pitch is high and outside.
Walked his first time up.
Giannini batting from the right side. Boone has his pitch. He settles, shakes the shoulders, fires the pitch, and this one is skied to left, left center. Ranging over is Linder, and he makes the grab to retire Giannini. So the first out of the inning, man on first, that is Levy, as Traben Funderburg comes to the plate, batting 200 with runners on, just 158. And he'll look to face Boone here. Boone's first pitch is high and inside for a ball. Brings up 1-0 on the count. Again, it's Levy at first. Led off the inning with a single to right field. Funderburg trying to get him moving as Boone kicks, deals. This one's fouled off as Levy was trying to steal second. Funderburg got a bat on it, fouls it away, brings up 1-1 as Levy trots back to first.
Yeah, a little hit and run action there for Ohio. Funderburg just couldn't put the ball in fair territory.
Again, Funderburg, he is just a freshman today, playing in relief of Hafner, who is injured. He's been injured the last couple of games. He's done a great job of fielding so far, looking to see what he can do at the plate. There's another throw over to first from Boone. Trying to keep Levy there as he is 3 for 3 on stolen bases this season. He won't go often, but when he does, he's pretty successful. Boone fires this pitch. This one's popped up. Shallow center field. Coming on to make the catch is Zaban. And that brings up 2 outs. Devin Garcia will step in.
Number 3, Devin Garcia.
Garcia, the center fielder. He is struck out today. As a throw over to first, once again, nothing going there. They're really worried about Levy at first and his speed. Devin Garcia, a 240 hitter. Bats from the right side. Boone. Once again, throws over to first, and this is curious. They've gone there 4 or 5 times now. Levy, despite just being 3 of 3, doesn't seem to be very aggressive. Garcia, a very solid contact hitter, though, so got to be wary of Levy potentially going, and now another throw over to first. Tell you what, if we were in a big ballpark right now, we'd be hearing a lot of boos from the home crowd.
A lot of boos.
No one likes to see this. Garcia, the leadoff hitter today, with 2 outs on him. The 0-0 pitch is a strike called, and throw on to second is not a successful one for the Herd, as Levy, after all those throws over to first, gets to second anyway on the stolen base.
Levy now 4 for 4 on the year, and he picked a good pitch too. Sam Boone delivers off speed. Levy got a good jump, and combine that with the curveball, he was safe easily.
Boone, the 0-1 delivery is low. A nice block once again by Robbins. And yeah, you mentioned it, the off-speed pitch gives just a little bit more time for Levy to, along with the jump and with the time that he's given, to get over to that second base. And now, with 2 outs, they have a man in scoring position. That's a big stolen base for Levy. Garcia awaits Boone, and now Boone going to take a little extra time on the mound. Here is Boone. He settles, he sets, he fires. And just low, brings up a 2-1 count to Garcia. 4-4 your score from the Wren in Athens. Bobcats and the Herd. As Boone is ready, Garcia is ready. The 2-1 pitch is grounded off to the left side, and it'll go foul. Brings up 2-2 to Garcia. And Garcia, with runners in scoring position, just a 200 hitter, currently has Levy stuck and planted at second. The Herd leaving that right side a little open in the infield, hugging that left field line. As Boone's pitch. Wow. You know, I'll be honest, I was expecting a strike there, and instead they say just a little bit high. Now Garcia, with that crouching stance, doesn't allow a very big strike zone, and it's really difficult to try to get a hit on him, or excuse me, to get a strike on him. Brings up a full count, a big 3-2 pitch here. Boone sets the 3-2 delivery. Is low. They go to first for the call to see if he did go, and Darvin Garcia did not. So the Bobcats, with 2 outs, have a man on first and a man on second. Garcia sits at first, and Levy sits at second. As Evan Bourne coming on, the senior, a .239 average today. He is 0 for 1. With runners on, though, a .304 hitter, Gabe, and I'd like to see maybe on this 2 outs, he's also a .286 hitter. So he's a nice pitch of clutch, or a nice piece of clutch hitting.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat by Devin Garcia. Worked the count full. Don't chase that ball in the dirt on the 3-2, and even the 2-2 pitch, you said it, it was real close, but he was able to lay off.
A lot of borderline pitches in that last at-bat. Here comes Boone's pitch. High, nearly caught and grazed the shoulder of Evan Bourne. He's able to back out. Ball 1. 1-0 the count, 2 outs. Once again, 4-4 game. Levy on second, Garcia at first for the Bobcats. Evan Bourne awaits the pitch. As Boone sets and kicks, deals, no. It is high, 2-0, and now we'll have a visit on the mound as Robbins will trot up there and talk to him a little bit, pat him on the back. Very short conversation.
Just try to settle Boone down. Sam Boone wasn't expecting to come into this game that quickly. Philip Hoffman, the starter, only goes a third of an inning for Marshall.
And Boone, who started out so well, you have to wonder, is fatigue maybe settling in a little bit? He's pitched 3 innings.
This is his 3rd inning of relief.
As this pitch, high, brings up 3-0. And now he's really struggling to find the strike zone, much like the Marshall pitchers were earlier. He's starting to follow that similar trend. Trying to get this last out of the inning and get out of it somehow unscathed. Boone. The 3-0 offering is right down the middle, strike called, as Evan Bourne watches that fly by. Bourne batting from the left side, facing the righty Boone. Man on first and second for the Bobcats. Boone, we're trying to work out of this jam. The pitch, swung on and lifted foul over to the left side as it clears the press box. And Bourne once again, 3-0-4 with runners on, 286. Or excuse me, runners in scoring position. He is 33-33. So obviously with Levy sitting at second, This is a dangerous batter that Boone is facing, and he's having a hard time putting him away in this full count at bat. Big time pitch for Boone. Was looking to flip back to second. So we'll do that over again. And once again, another visit to the mound, but you know what, a very needed visit. You have a 3-2 count. How do you want to approach Bourne at the plate with runners in first and second?
Yeah, you said it. Boone has a base to give, so a Bourne walk would load the bases, but with Rudy Rode on deck, they don't want to face the junior slugger for Ohio.
Yeah, one swing of the bat from Rote could really put a damper on this game for Marshall. Boone is ready. Bourne is ready. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul once again to a similar spot off to the left side.
As a gutsy 3-2 curveball from Sam Boone. Nice job by Bourne to wait back on it and just foul it off once it dropped into the zone.
Yeah, he read the pitch beautifully. 2 outs. Can Marshall get out of this inning unscathed? Boone kicks, deals a 3-2. Is swung on and popped off foul once again. Evan Bourne staying alive in this full count situation. Garcia trots back to first. Remember, Levy at second, Garcia at first. Bobcats, since picking up the 2 outs, have been able to put themselves in a decent situation to actually get some runs in this inning. They've picked up a hit already. And obviously the walk to Garcia. Boone. The 3-2 offering. Swung on, put on the ground, back to Boone, makes a great grab at first, trots over and flips it to first to end the inning. So 2 men left aboard, 1 hit, nobody crosses the home plate for the Bobcats. We have a 4-4 game from the Wren in Athens. We'll bring it back in just a moment for the top of the 5th. Finishing the latter half of a home-and-home situation. Marshall obviously took the game yesterday 6-2, their final. Ohio and Marshall tied at 4 right now. Ohio, after getting a grand slam in the first inning, have been held scoreless for 3 straight as Marshall will take their turn at the plate. The pitch from Manis is swung on, waved, and missed, as Cody Matthews, the senior, at the plate for Marshall. He's a .293 hitter, facing the freshman Manis. That pitch caught the right side outside corner. It fooled Matthews as he swung and missed at it, making it 0-2. Manis once again working quickly. He kicks, he deals. This one inside and low in the dirt.
And a quick update for Ohio softball fans. Ohio softball just defeated Ohio State in Columbus 7-0. The win is...
as this one's fouled off.
The win is the first for Ohio in Columbus since 1997.
Wow. Way to go, ladies. Way to go, ladies.
That's 8 in a row for Ohio softball, 17 of the last 18.
And yeah, over there, they really struggled out of the gate with their season. They really found a great rhythm facing MAC opponents. As this pitch from Manis is low and in the dirt, brings up a 2-2 count. As Manis, the pitch, this one is rocketed up towards the middle. It'll find center field. On the ground ball, single, as Matthews is aboard to start out the inning. The offense not slowing down for Marshall. Picked up 2 runs in the last inning. Now got a man aboard. And coming to the plate is Jordan Blanton, the freshman for Marshall. Bats .254. The shortstop you mentioned, he's a freshman just like Ohio has. As Manis, the freshman pitcher, launches this one, and it is ricocheted off the bat and going to second, and safe is Matthews. Did it ricochet off the bat, or where did it?
Well, that wasn't off the bat. That was off the gear of McCauley.
Ah, okay. Tough to see from this vantage point. So Marshall now a man on second with nobody out. Ohio is in an early jam. Freshman facing freshman. Matthews the man on second. 1-0, a 4-4 game in the top of the 5th. Manis working a little slower now, starting to think about Matthews at second. Tends to pitch very quickly and work quickly. But right now thinking a little bit more about it. Now the freshman in a situation where he's got a runner on. See how he handles it. As Jordan Blanton awaits the pitch. Set, fire, pitch, right in there. Ooh, we're going to call a ball. A 2-0 count. As Manis missed low. Manis takes a long pause, gets his pitch, settles in, he kicks and deals. And once again, he is low. 3-0. He's really attacking that exact same spot, Gabe, trying to get Blanton to kind of golf it out of here, but he's not swinging. See if he mixes up the pitch here.
You said trying to paint that outside corner. He's just missed a couple straight times.
Blanton's 3-0 offering is in there for a strike. Brings up 3-1. Trying to work himself back in this count. Blanton, it's impressive to see a freshman not swing his bat. He's not timid. He's really relaxed at the plate. As here comes a 3-1 offering. This one is swung on and lifted to center. Coming on is Garcia. He won't get there as it lands just short of him. And a single brings Matthews over to third as Marshall has runners in the corners with nobody out.
You said it, runners on the corners, top of the order coming up for the herd. Andrew Zaban to the plate, and Brett Manis has done a great job with working with runners on this year. In his 7 innings pitched, opponents only bat 133 against Manis with runners on, but you see Blanton get the hit there, and Manis is in the most trouble he's been in a while.
And facing Zaban, one of the better hitters on Marshall. 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's got a .252 average, very patient hitter. This will be a good test for the freshman at the mound. As he finds his pitch, he kicks, he deals, and outside and low for a ball. Manis once again trying to find that groove he had going earlier when he first came on in relief. Struggling right now. Taking an extra pause, extra time on the mound, has his pitch. And his second pitch once again misses. 2-0 your count, 4-4 your score. Marshall has out-hit Ohio 6-3. And right now in this inning, really putting Ohio in a stranglehold with men in the corners, nobody out. Manis throws over to first, nothing going there. Matthews the man on third, Blanton the man at first for Marshall. Blanton is 13 for 14 on stolen base attempts this year. So you'd like to keep him at first, not allow him to get into scoring position. As this pitch from Manis, once again low and outside. He seems to miss at that spot multiple times. 3-0 count, and right now Marshall is threatening to load him up with nobody out. Zaban is 0 for 1 on the day. Here comes the pitch, and this one finds the corner. Straight called, makes it 3-1. And a pitch that really Manis needed there. Manis gathers himself. The 3-1, throws over to first instead. He's very worried about Blanton over there. And Marshall did a lot of their damage yesterday on 2 outs. Right now has Ohio with nobody out, and they're doing some damage. Manis once again to throw over to first. Nothing going there. (4-4) Ohio and Marshall from the Wren in Athens. Logan Leduc alongside Gabe Genovese. It's been a long inning as Manis sets, fires a 3-1. It misses high, and just like that, Marshall has loaded them up with nobody out in the top of the 5th. And now a great chance for Hannon, the junior. And he's a dangerous hitter, a .331 hitter. Runners in scoring position, he's a .275 hitter. And with runners on just in general, .321. But you know what the most telling stat, when it's loaded, he is .500. This is the man you want at the plate if you're the Thundering Herd. And this is the man you don't want at the plate if you're the Ohio Bobcats. So Manis, the freshman, will pitch to the junior, Hannon. Manis, the first pitch of the at-bat, is fouled off to the right side and behind the plate. Brings up 0-1, so finally ahead in the count.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Manis has fallen behind in almost every count he's been in since coming on in relief. Got to get ahead here.
He looked very smooth when he first came on. Has since found a lot of trouble. The 0-1 offering from Manis. Swung on, fouled off again to the right side, and an 0-2 count on Hannon.
And now you've got a pitch or two to play with if you're Manis.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Big time jam for the freshman. 4-4 ball game. Marshall and Athens, or Marshall and Ohio, two very evenly matched teams. As the 0-2 pitch is swung on, put on the ground to third, throw to home, trying to get the lead runner, got him. And that brings up the first out. Great defensive play there by the third baseman, Giannini. And that's tough when you have runners on. They're loaded. You have to kind of look at your situations. What option do you want to take? Throws home and gets the lead runner.
Great play by Giannini at the hot corner. Fielded on a couple hops. Prevented the run from scoring. Hannon reaches on a fielder's choice, but now with one down, the double play ball is a factor here.
It could certainly come into play. That would be one way to get out of an inning.
Let's see if Manis can get the ground ball he wants.
So at the plate is Ray, the first baseman, a .283 hitter. First pitch is low and outside for a ball, once again in the dirt. And Ray, a 1,000 hitter when the bases are loaded. Certainly likes this situation. As Manis calms himself, he sets, he fires. Once again, low and in the dirt. 2-0 your count.
Yeah, behind on Ray once again, and a good job by McCauley behind the plate there to block that ball.
McCauley, a great defensive catcher. We mentioned that earlier. And right now with bases loaded, you can't afford any kind of wild pitch right now. It'll bring a run home. Manis, he sets. He delivers. This one in there, called ball.
And he doesn't have anywhere to put Will Ray. A walk scores a run. And the walk has been the problem for Manis this year. He's only given up 5 hits, but 11 walks in 7 innings for Brett Manis.
This pitch, called strike on the bottom part of the zone, makes it a 3-1 count. Manis trying to stay alive. A throwaway pitch there for Ray as he lines one into the gap in left. Coming on to score as Marshall. 2 runs will score, and just like that, it's a 6-4 ball game in favor of Marshall. A nice piece of hitting from Ray, and he continues to be 1,000 with bases loaded.
2 RBI single from Will Ray. RBIs number 19 and 20 on the year. And Ohio once again finds themselves trailing 6-4 here in the 5th.
And the damage may not be done. Runners still on first and second for Marshall, just 1 out. And guess who's at the plate? Pastrana, .350 hitter. Today he is 2 for 2, had a home run.
Home run in both at-bats.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 2 home runs, and that's the last thing you could afford right now if you're Ohio. Manis. The 0-0 pitch is just inside, nearly grazed the shoulder of Pastrana. He bats from the right side, facing the lefty Manis. Pastrana, the junior. He's pretty much a dangerous hitter in any situation. He is .452 with runners in scoring position. The pitch from Manis. Great looking curveball, but it just missed on the outside. Brings up 2-0.
That looked good for Manis there.
Hey, he put some nasty stuff on there. He just missed that bottom corner.
It's one of those things you don't want to give Pastrana anything easy to hit, but
as Manis' next pitch is fouled off on a ripper behind home plate. Pastrana working at a 2-1 count here. Once again, top of the 5th inning. Marshall has crossed 2 runs in this inning to make it a 6-4 ball game. So Marshall already with 6 runs matches their output from yesterday's game. Manis, the 2-1. This one put on the ground and a chopper to third. Fielded and thrown over to second. One more to first on the relay, and he's safe. So Ohio does pick up 1 more out to make it 2. Cannot get the man at first. But a nice play by Giannini to get the man at second.
Yeah, good play by Giannini once again. Transfer real quick. Got it to Levy for 1, and then Pastrana beat it out. He reaches on a fielder's choice. But Manis has a chance to get a 3rd out and get out of this inning with only 2 runs scored.
And for Ohio, I feel like that's all you could really ask for. Limit the damage. He was facing a bases loaded, nobody out situation. And now Hutzel comes on. He's 1 for 1 in the day. A .279 hitter, batting from the left side. A throw over to first from Manis. Once again, nothing going there. 2 outs, top of the 5th, 6-4 Marshall from the Wren in Athens. Hutzel is ready. Manis is ready. The 0-0 offering is low once again in the dirt, and Manis really can't get that ball up in the zone at all. 1-0 is the count. Beautiful day in Athens. No clouds, a pretty much pristine day. All you can ask for is this pitch. Once again, low. I'm surprised that that strike zone seems to be getting smaller. It's 2-0. Now we had to move this game up because there's expected to be some rain around 8 o'clock tonight. But right now couldn't ask for much better conditions for a baseball game. Manis, the 2-0 count. This one's fouled off, brings up strike 1. Marshall is ahead 6-4, won yesterday's game 6-2. It's been a long 5th inning for Manis as he sets and fires. Swing and a miss. No throw to second as nobody was standing at second. So Marshall now with 2 men in scoring position at second and third. But Manis now just a strike away from getting out of this inning. Manis, Hutzel, the pitcher, the batter. Meet in a 2-2 pitch right here. Manis outside. Great block by McCauley to make sure it didn't get away from him. Brings up a full count. And it would really be a backbreaker if Manis would walk and load up the bases once again. Manis. A 2-out, 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss as Manis rings him up. And that'll end the inning as Ohio gets out of that inning with as minimal damage as possible. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. Herd leads at 6-4. Bob Wren Stadium is the site for today's action. The Marshall Thundering Herd currently lead the Ohio Bobcats 6-4 as they scratch 2 runs in the top half of this inning. We're entering the bottom of the 5th. So far 7 hits for Marshall, 3 for Ohio. Marshall brings on another relief pitcher. It's Mark Meyer, the right-hander. He's a sophomore standing 6'7", 205 pounds. He is from Dalton, Ohio, played high school ball at Tuslaw. And Boone for Marshall, he stood 6'8". This is Meyer standing at 6'7", maybe a little less stockier, as he's got a 10.57 ERA. And he faces Rudy Rote, the first baseman. Meyer's first pitch of the early evening is a called strike, and that's the way you want to start it if you're Meyer. Rudy Rote, 0 for 1 on the day, a .357 batting average, bats .409 when he leads off. The second pitch, once again in there on the bottom left corner of the plate. Brings up 0-2 on Rote right now. Righty versus lefty. Meyer sets, fires the 0-2, way out high. A little bit of a waste pitch there. Trying to see if Rudy would bite on it. Once again, we're in the bottom of the 5th. 6-4 Marshall, leading Ohio. We've had a little bit of everything in this game so far, as Meyer The 1-2 offering outside. Brings up 2-2. Meyer sets and fires, and a ball put on the ground to first on a hard rocket. And Ray makes the play at first, flips it to Meyer for the out. First out of the inning as Meyer, so far so good for him. Picnic at the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the day. One of the more dangerous hitters in the lineup for Ohio. Bats .319. Meyer got the first out of the inning, looking to make work of Picnic here. First pitch is a curveball that drops right in there for a strike. 0-1 the count with 1 out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and line to third. It'll get by Matthews as it dribbles into left field. Linder picks it up and throws it in. But Picnic is aboard on first on the lining single to left. So Ohio has a man on base. And coming to the plate is Michael Klein. He's 1 for 1. And that one hit he had was a big one. It was a grand slam in the first inning to originally put Ohio up 4-2, but since then, Ohio has not scored. Marshall has scored 4 runs since then to take the 6-4 lead. Klein with a man on first. Waits Meyer's first pitch, fouled off to the right side. Michael Klein pitched the first inning of this game and was then pulled. Here he is batting. Once again, did his damage at the plate rather than on the mound. An 0-1 count as Meyer checks at first. Meyer throws to first now, but sliding back in safely was Picnic. Picnic just 1 for 2 on stolen bases this season. Not really a threat, but he has a good jump and a good leadoff there at first. Meyer thinking about it. Now the 0-1 delivery is right in there. Called strike, 1-1. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Ohio down 6-4 to Marshall. Man on first for Ohio. Klein at the plate. Meyer ready to pitch. Here it comes, and Klein fouls it off behind the plate and out of play. 1-2, the count. As Michael Klein trying to potentially put a little more damage and try to cut into that 6-4 deficit. Meyer steadies himself, has his pitch. He fires, and a swing and a miss by Michael Klein rings him up, brings up 2 outs as Meyer's done a great job on the mound so far. Stepping in for Ohio is Dan McCauley, the catcher. McCauley on the season, a .245 hitter with 2 out, just a .214 hitter. Ohio had a nice single to the left side to originally put a man on as the first pitch is a called strike, but Klein went down swinging. Now McCauley trying to keep the inning alive for the Bobcats. Meyer once again checks at first. The pitch. Up high, call the ball. There's a slight delay in the call. 1-1. Ohio baseball looking to get back to 500 today. Are facing a 6-4 deficit as Meyer's pitch is inside, and going to second is Picnic, and he'll stand in there safely on the wild pitch. Dan McCauley didn't even hesitate. He stood still like a statue despite that ball coming inches away from his nose. McCauley facing the 2-1. Man on second now is Picnic. Meyer. The 2-1 offering. Swung on and fouled off behind the plate. 2-2. 2 outs. Ohio, a promising hitting inning. However, 2 outs and 1 strike away from doing no damage into that lead. Myers ready. McCauley is ready. The 2-2 offering. Rung him up. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. So Ohio gets 1 hit, leaves 1 man aboard, scores no runs, and we'll head to the top of the 6th. It's a 6-4 game in favor of Marshall. Gabe Genovese will be coming back for you when we come back on Ohio Bobcat TV. Logan Leduc with Gabe Genovese. I'll be here for 1 more inning with you. As Ohio brings on Logan Jasek to do some pitching. He's got a 3.0 ERA. And Gabe, we've seen a little bit of it all in this game. Really a fast-paced game to start. We had the combined 6 runs in the first inning. Sort of calmed down since, especially Ohio's offense.
Yeah, the Bobcats really haven't gotten anything going since that first inning. You had the grand slam by Klein. A couple of hits in that first inning, only 2 hits in the last 4 innings for Ohio in innings number 2 through 5. And it was a pretty solid outing from Sam Boone of Marshall. 3 2/3 innings pitched. He only gave up 1 hit, no runs, a couple of walks, 3 Ks, and the Bobcats' bats continue to struggle. We'll see if Jasek can hold the Herd scoreless here in the 6th.
And they kind of need to right now. We're getting a little bit later into this game. The sun's starting to go away. The breeze is starting to make its way into the ballpark. More clouds, starting to look a little darker too, Gabe. And right now, Logan Jasek, like you mentioned, trying to really fend off this surge that the Herd is on right now. Stepping into bat for the Herd is Linder, the senior, batting .288. He's a .407 hitter on leadoff situations. As the pitch from Jasek is in there for a strike. Ohio's given up 7 hits today, 6 runs. Now Ohio scored just 2 runs yesterday as Jasek really working quickly, finds the exact same spot and gets the exact same result for strike 2. They have 4 hits. They had just 5 hits, excuse me, the other day for 2 runs. As this one's outside for ball 1, 1-2 your count. Jasek sets and fires, and a low pitch called ball. Once again, a borderline pitch. Brings up 2-2 for Jasek. Linder's ready. Here comes the pitch. And just outside. And after an 0-2 start for Jasek, 3 straight balls called to make it full.
Logan Jasek pitched yesterday for Ohio as well.
And a slow chopper picked up by Jasek. He flips it to first for the first out of the inning. So Jasek records that first out. Got to feel good for the pitcher to come on and get the first one behind you.
Jasek yesterday, 1 inning pitched, gave up a walk, had 2 strikeouts, no runs, no hits. Looks to do the same here today for Ohio.
And stepping in now is Robbins for Marshall, and he will take ball 1. And here's Jasek once again. We've seen the last 3 pitchers for Ohio all work very, very quickly. He might want to slow down a little bit now as he's picked up 2 straight balls. Robbins, the 265 hitter, batting in the 8 hole. He's the catcher for Marshall. Here comes the pitch. This one, once again, the outside corner. Called ball, so 3-0 the count. Jasek goes back, grabs the sandbag, trying to get a little more grip on the ball, see what he can put out there. Right now, 1 ball away from putting a man aboard, and that's the last thing Ohio could hope for. Jasek's 4th pitch, 4 straight balls. That's a walk. And that will put Robbins aboard with Matthews, the senior, coming on to hit for Marshall.
4-pitch walk there to Dakota Robbins.
Number 3, Cody Matthews.
Said it yesterday. Jasek didn't give up a hit yesterday, but did walk 1 in his 1 inning of relief. It's his 8th walk given up this year in 9 1/3.
Cody Matthews, the senior, sees the first pitch from Jasek high for ball 1. He was redshirted his junior year. Stands just 5'9". From Oregon. Here comes the pitch. There goes the runner, but it's fouled off. So 1-1 the count with 1 out for Jasek. 6-4. And the top of the 6th. Herd lead at 6-4. They won their home game yesterday against Ohio. Ohio trying to do the same today, but currently facing a 2-run deficit. As Jasek is ready. The 1-1 pitch on its way. This one's grounded to third, diving and not making the grab was Giannini as it rolls into left field. And now the Herd have a man on first and second with 1 out.
Nice little ground ball single there for Cody Matthews. 2 straight singles now for Matthews in the last couple innings, the 5th and the 6th. And Jasek is in trouble here. First and second one down. He needs a double play ball.
So Marshall now with 8 hits on the day. Ohio at just 4, and again, we mentioned it multiple times. Ohio had 4 runs in the first and have been held scoreless since. Meanwhile, it's been kind of the opposite. Marshall picked up the 2 runs in the first inning, were scoreless for a bit, and now the onslaught of the offense has resumed since the 4th inning. It's been tough to stop. No matter what pitcher Ohio puts out there, Marshall is putting the ball in play. Jasek with the first pitch to Blanton, a swing and a miss for strike 1. The freshman shortstop batting from the right side. Today he's got 1 hit. He's also scored a run. As Jasek now slowing himself down a little bit on the mound. Trying to once again get the signals from his catcher. The 0-1 pitch is high and inside. Brings up ball 1, 1-1 the count. It's gotten a little bit quieter in the ballpark, a little bit colder. Once again, Ohio down 6-4. They have found a lot of trouble finding anything to cheer about since the first inning. Jasek, the 1-1, and he stops once again, thinking about the man at second. Robbins, the man at second. Matthews, the man at first. This is the 9-hole hitter, Jordan Blanton. Bats .261 with runners in scoring position, .370. Marshall looking to add on to their 2-run lead. Here's the pitch. Beautiful breaking ball. Finds the middle of the plate. Makes it 1-2 on the strike. And you got to like that from Jasek, finding a little bit of stuff to throw at home plate, showing he still got confidence in the circle, or not, excuse me, not the circle, on the mound. I'm thinking of softball rules, Gabe.
Now he's ahead in the count. Has a pitch or two to work with. Let's see what he comes with.
Calls for timeout.
Blanton steps out of the box.
Play has really slowed down since that first inning. For just joining us, it's 6-4 Marshall. Here comes the pitch and a hard line ball to second. Throw on to shortstop. Gets two as they rally and get the double play. A nice play from Levy to flip it to Funderburg. He throws on to first. And that ends the inning without any runs crossing for Marshall. 2 men left aboard on 2 hits. We will head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-4 Marshall on Ohio Bobcat TV. The Ohio Bobcats looking to get back to 500, currently trail the Marshall Thundering Herd 6-4 from Bob Wrenn Stadium in Athens. Logan LeDuc alongside Gabe Genovese. Ohio scratched across 4 runs in the first inning, have been held scoreless since, as we mentioned. Let's look to see if they can do it in the home half of the 6th inning. As batting right now for Ohio is Aaron Levy. Here comes the first pitch from Meyer. Nice looking fastball right down the heart of the plate, makes it 0-1. And Levy on the day is 1 for 1. Meyer came on just last inning and did a great job. His second pitch, similar spot, different call. 1-1 is the count. Marshall with 8 hits, Ohio with 4. Marshall leads by 2. As the pitch from Meyer is swung on and blasted to right, however, fairly high, and settling under it and making the catch is Hannon for Marshall. Retires Levy to make it 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Tony Giannini stepping in for the Bobcats. He's looking to get aboard and try to carve into this 2-run deficit, but once again, the offense really just hasn't been there for Ohio since the first. Meyer, the first pitch of the at-bat. This one's cracked right back to Meyer. He has trouble with it, though, and beating out the throw-in safe at first is Giannini, as Meyer couldn't come up with it on the ground ball. And Giannini, with the speed and quickness, makes it over to first. So the freshman Funderburg steps in to bat. Giannini on first. He has been reliable all season long, showing the speed and making it to first there. Ohio with 1 man on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Funderburg is high and inside. Ducking away from the ball was Funderburg. And once again, another meeting at the mound, as Robbins, the catcher, goes to talk to the pitcher, Meyer.
And let's see.
Go ahead, please.
Let's see what Funderburg can do here. You got the top of the order coming up. Giannini reaches on an error.
This ball's fouled off and back behind home plate.
You'd love for the freshman to be able to come through with a hit here, have a couple runners on as you make your way through the top of the order.
And that would really be a momentum-changing play in the game, you know, to have a freshman come in here and make a big play. Once again, Meyer fumbled the routine ground ball that he had, and Giannini reached on that error. But now a throw from Meyer nearly got Giannini at first, but he slides in safely. Big leadoff there for Giannini. On the season, Giannini is just 1 for 3 on stolen base attempts. As Funderburg, ready. Meyer is ready, checks at first. Now throws to first. Once again, nothing going there. On deck is Devin Garcia. That'd be the top of the order coming up for the Bobcats. 1 out, a 1-1 count to Funderburg. Meyer, the 6'7" pitcher. Launches. This one's put on the ground to third. Picked up and scooped by Matthews. Flips over to second. Throw back to first. Not in time, but Marshall gets the lead runner at second. So 2 outs. Funderburg is safe at first, and Devin Garcia will step in.
Yeah, Ray didn't quite scoop that one over at first. It would have been a really, really close call if he would have been able to scoop it up. I think Funderburg might have beat it out anyways with his speed, but let's see if Dev can keep it going here in the 6th.
D. Gar awaits the first pitch. It's in there. Great looking fastball from Meyer. And Devin Garcia, really known for community service, works for the Silver Springs Nursing Home, Cherry Street Mission, and Friends of LCC Christmas Drive. Really an outstanding kid. And he's at first, waiting Meyer's second pitch, but instead Meyer throws to first. Garcia has 0-1 on him. Meyer with 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off to the right side by Garcia. Brings up 0-2 though, and now the Bobcats once again 1 strike away from this inning being over. Garcia though, once again he's a junior. He's seen the situation multiple times, see if he can keep the inning alive. Throw over to first from Meyer. Sliding in safely as Funderburg.
Yeah, keeping Funderburg close over there.
And with 2 strikes, you'd imagine that they'd be a little more aggressive trying to steal second. Meyer having none of that. Now he steps off the mound. Devin Garcia awaits the 0-2 pitch. And here it comes. Garcia fouls it off out of play over the press box behind home plate. Once again, 6-4 your score. Marshall leads it. They won yesterday's game looking for the series sweep of the home and home. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Meyer checks at first. He kicks, he deals, and got Garcia swinging. That'll end the inning. And Ohio, despite having a runner on, do not bring him across, and it stays a 6-4 game. Gabe Genovese will have you in the top of the 7th inning. Ohio trails 6-4 when we come back.
Bottom of the 1st on a grand slam by Michael Klein, and haven't been able to scratch a run across since. The Thundering Herd lead Ohio 6-4 here in the top of the 7th. Eddie Cutt into pitch for Ohio. He faces the leadoff batter Andrew Zaban, and Zaban takes a ball on inside 1-0. Cutt pitched in yesterday's game as well for the Bobcats. 1 inning pitched, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts for Cutt, as he replaces Jasek, who pitched his inning of relief. And now Zaban crushes one high and deep to right field, and if it stays fair, it's gone. It does. Andrew Zaban, his 6th home run of the year, and Marshall leads 7-4. That ball was hammered to deep right field.
And as soon as Zaban made contact, he knew it was gone. Started walking off the plate, slowly walking to first, and for Cutt, not the way you want to start out your early evening.
Number 27, Shane Hannon.
That's only the 3rd home run Eddie Cutt has given up all year, as Shane Hannon steps in for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Hannon 1 for 2 and reached on a fielder's choice as well today. Got his 3rd double of the year back in the 1st inning. First pitch from Cutt, off speed in there at the knees, strike 1. 7-4 the Marshall lead now, top of the 7th. Nobody down for the Herd. The 0-1 pitch catches the outside edge, 0-2.
Good to see Cutt come back with 2 straight strikes after giving up the home run blast. See if he can maybe settle in a little bit more.
Now the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Cutt gets his first strikeout of the afternoon, 1 down here in the 7th.
Good sign from Cutt to get the strikeout straight after the home run. Shows he's got 0 hesitation. He's not phased. However, that run could really hurt in this game.
And the long ball has been the weapon for Marshall here in this 2-game series, as the first pitch to Will Ray catches the outside edge, 0-1. 2 homers yesterday for the Herd, a 3-run bomb and a 2-run shot, and then today Pastrana goes deep twice, as that one misses low and away, 1-1. Pastrana with a 2-run home run in the first inning and a solo shot in the fourth, and then Zaban goes deep here in the seventh. The 1-1 pitch fouled off behind the plate. Cut now ahead in the count, 1-2. Will Ray, the senior first baseman for Marshall, 0 for 4 yesterday with a strikeout, and now 1 for 3 today as he pops one up to left field. Picnic going into foul territory, makes the grab, 2 down here in the seventh.
Picnic doing a great job of ranging over to his right, had to go quite a ways to get that. Also was weary of not running into the wall in foul territory, makes the grab, 2 out.
And that'll bring up Ronaldo Pastrana for the Herd. We were just talking about him, 2 homers here in this game. Pastrana has reached all 3 times, but the third time was a fielder's choice as first pitch to him is popped up, foul territory, lands down the first base line near the Marshall dugout, count 0-1. The 2-run blast in the first inning, a solo shot in the fourth. Now 34 RBIs on the year for Pastrana. That leads Marshall. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, strike 2.
And it really hasn't seemed to matter what pitcher has faced Pastrana. He's seen it the exact same way, but now facing an 0-2 against Cut.
The 0-2 delivery popped up to medium depth left field. Picnic settles under it, takes a step back now and makes the grab. So a couple of flyouts to Tanner Picnic to end the inning. Cut gives up 1 hit, a solo shot to Andrew Zaban, and Marshall adds another one. It's 7-4 thundering Herd over Ohio as we head to the home half of the seventh. Let's stretch at the Wren. We'll be right back in Athens. We head to the seventh. A 7-4 Marshall lead over Ohio as we head to the home half of the seventh inning. 2-3-4 due up for the Bobcats here in the seventh. Evan Bourne leads it off for Ohio, followed by Rudy Rote and Tanner Picnic. Let's see if the heart of the Ohio order can get something going here in the seventh inning. Ohio has been blanked in innings 2 through 6 as Meyer sets. And the first pitch to Evan Bourne is low and away, ball 1. Bourne looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch as well in the first inning. The Bobcats got 4 runs on a grand slam from Michael Klein in the first. Only 2 hits since the 1-0. Hard ground ball right side. The second baseman Hutzel fields it in the hole, and he's out. Hutzel flips it to Ray. Bourne is out by half a step. A beautiful play by the second baseman, Peter Hutzel, 1 down here in the seventh.
Yeah, he judged it perfectly and even had to make the spinning throw to get it to first. Incredible looking play by Hutzel to get the first out.
And that'll bring up Rudy Rote for Ohio. Rote, the top hitter in this Ohio lineup, came into today batting .359. The average now at .354. As he steps in on the left side and takes a curveball for ball 1. Rote 0 for 2 with a walk today. He went 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday, so he's 0 for his last 5 with a couple of walks. Very unlike Rudy Rote. The 1-0. Fastball high above the head. 2 balls, no strikes to the junior. Rote leads the Bobcats with 12 doubles, 8 homers, 29 RBIs on the year. The .354 average is also atop of the Ohio Bobcat squad. The 2-0 pitch at the knees, strike 1.
And I tell you what, Gabe, if we don't have that one single swing in the first inning, we're getting blown out of this game. So Ohio, you know, they're in this game, but running out of innings to score.
Myers sets and fires the 2-1. Line drive, right field, base hit. The right fielder, Hannon, fields it on a hop. Rote's on for the second time today. He's got his first hit of the ball game. Rudy Rote now has a hit in 21 of Ohio's last 24 games. He's got a 1-out single, and now Tanner Picnic steps to the plate for the Bobcats. Let's see if Picnic can get a couple of runners on for Ohio. Meyer checks Rote, now the pitch. Picnic fouls it off behind the plate, 0-1. Tanner Picnic 1 for 3. The one hit was a solo home run yesterday against the Thundering Herd in the 6-2 loss for Ohio. Picnic is hitting .333 in his last 5 games. He's 1 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. The 0-1 pitch inside, count even at 1-1. Mark Meyer, the third pitcher of the afternoon for the Thundering Herd. The starter, Philip Hoffman, got pulled after a third of an inning. He gave up a couple of walks and the grand slam to Klein, then got pulled as Meyer throws lazily over to first. Sam Boone then did his job for Marshall. 3 2/3 innings pitched. Boone only gave up 1 hit, a couple of walks. No runs, 3 strikeouts in relief. And now Mark Meyer in his 3rd inning of work for Marshall here in the 7th. The pitch, curveball high and tight. 2 balls, 1 strike to Picnic.
Yeah, he kind of lost control on that pitch. Probably the first time we've seen him really lose control on the pitch. He has commanded the mound beautifully so far.
Rote's single was only the 2nd hit off of Meyer in this ballgame. The 2-1 pitch, low and away in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike to Tanner Picnic. Picnic has a hit in now 5 of the last 6 games for Ohio. Singled his last time up in the 5th inning, got stranded on second. Now the 3-1. Fouled off right behind the plate. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore catcher. Actually, I apologize, Picnic playing left field today for Ohio. He was behind the plate yesterday for the Bobcats. Rote leads off at first, and he's back safely as Meyer throws over. 7-4, the Marshall lead here in the bottom of the 7th. The Thundering Herd out hitting Ohio 9-5. Middle infield and double play depth for Marshall. 1 down. The 3-2 pitch. A deep pop fly high into right center field. The right fielder, Shane Hanning, comes on, makes the grab. 2 down here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Michael Klein for Ohio.
And once again for Ohio, they had another promising start to the inning hitting-wise, but really just can't figure it out from there. They get a man aboard and can't do anything from there. Michael Klein, the only guy to really put a dent or damage on the scoreboard with his grand slam in the 1st inning, comes to the plate, see if he can do some more.
Klein 1 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch as well in the 3rd. First pitch to him. On the outside corner for strike 1. You said it, Klein, the grand slam back in the 1st inning. He struck out swinging his last time up in the 5th. Marshall 7, Ohio 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1. Curveball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ohio 17-18 overall, under 500 for the first time since March 2nd when they were 4-5. Trying to get back to 500 today. The 1-1 at the knees. Count now 1-2 on Klein.
Getting back to 500 is going to be one tall task, though, today. 3-run deficit with 3 more innings to go.
Marshall looking to do the same. They're 16-17. A win today would get them to 500. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up down the first base line, slicing out of play. Will stay at 1-2. Klein started on the hill today for Ohio. Gave up a couple of runs in the top of the first inning, and his day was done. He stays in the lineup as the DH for the Bobcats. The 1-2 to Klein. Curveball misses low. Count even at 2-2. Meyer trying to get out of his 3rd inning of relief. Rote leads off at first. Meyer gives him a quick glance. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Mark Meyer, his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Ohio, no runs here in the bottom of the 7th on 1 hit and 1 left aboard. We'll head to the 8th. The Bobcats still trail 7-4. We'll be right back on Ohio Bobcat TV. For the Marshall lead over Ohio as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Nick Kermata on to pitch for the Bobcats. Eddie Cutt's day is done. 1 inning pitched. He gave up the solo home run to Andrew Zaban. No walks, 1 strikeout for Cutt. Kermata becomes the 7th pitcher of the afternoon for Ohio here on a midweek non-conference game for the Bobcats. 7 for the Marshall lead. Peter Hutzel, the first batter of the inning for the Thundering Herd. He takes a ball high and tight, 1-0. Kermata pitched yesterday as well for the Bobcats. 1 inning pitched. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. The 1-0 misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Kermata, the redshirt junior righty from Grand Ledge, Michigan, faces Peter Hutzel, who's 1 for 2 today with a walk. The 2-0 pitch. Chopped towards second. Levy fields it on a couple of hops, throws to Road at first, 1 down.
You know, that's the first time in a while we've had kind of just a routine ground ball kind of out. It's been hard to come by so far to get the outs in this game, but finally a routine one. See if the Ohio can continue that, because they're going to pretty much have to hold Marshall scoreless for the most part the rest of the game to have a chance.
You're right. That's only the second ground out we've had in the last 16 at-bats for Marshall. First pitch now to Tyler Linder. Misses off the outside corner. Tucker Linder, 1-0. Linder in the afternoon, 0 for 3. He did have an RBI as he bloops one into right field now. The right fielder, Bourne, comes on. He lets it bounce right in front of him. That's the first hit of the day for Linder. He's now 1 for 4. He had the RBI back in the 4th inning. He's on with one down here in the 8th. And that'll bring up Dakota Robbins for Marshall. Robbins bats from the left side. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today. He walked his last time up in the 6th. Linder leads off at first, 7-4 the Marshall lead over Ohio here in the top of the 8th. One down as Kermata deals the first pitch outside, 1-0. Nick Kermata, 1.96 ERA. In 18 1/3 innings pitched as he throws over to first. Kermata's only given up 4 runs all year. The walk's been a little bit of an issue. 13 walks for Kermata, 9 strikeouts on the year. As he throws over once again. Peter Hutzel stands on first. He stole a base in the 4th inning. He's now 5 for 6 on stolen bases this year. Infield and middle infield in double play depth for Ohio. The 1-0 pitch at the knees. Count even at 1-1.
Nice looking pitch from Kermata. He's kind of thrown a couple off-speed pitches, that time wasting just no messing around on that pitch. Throw it down the middle of the plate with the fastball.
Robbins yesterday was 0 for 1 with a couple of walks for the Herd. Now the 1-1 delivery. Grounded towards second. Levy fields it on a couple of hops, goes to second, and they got him at 2. Robbins beats it out at first, so he reaches on a fielder's choice. Levy with a nice play at second. He slipped as he went to throw it.
Yeah, it was a little risky almost, because I thought it was a little bit too close to call to try to throw to second there.
Ground ball was slow.
You potentially don't get an out, instead get the lead runner. Great play by Levy.
That'll bring up Cody Matthews for Marshall. Matthews has done a little bit of damage his past couple of bats. A single in the 5th, a single in the 6th. He has not come around to score on either, though. He's 2 for 3 today as he grounded out to Levy at second in the 2nd inning. First pitch to him, off speed, misses low and inside, 1-0. Cody Matthews redshirted last year. He was a transfer from Missouri Western State University. Now the 1-0 delivery from Nick Kermata. Line drive up the middle, base hit. A 2-out base hit. Runners on first and second for the Herd here in the 8th. Cody Matthews has fit in quite well with the Thundering Herd this year, now batting over .315 on the year. And for Matthews out of Roseburg, Oregon, when you transfer from a small school like Missouri Western, where he just tore it up there to a .335 average, 35 RBIs, when you come to a D1 school like Marshall and you continue to produce for the Thundering Herd, it's got to be a great feeling.
Oh yeah, he's a baseball player to say the least, and you can tell.
This is actually Cody Matthews' 3rd school as he started his collegiate career at Mount Hood Community College. Jordan Blanton at the plate now for the Thundering Herd. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Marshall has a lot of guys that have transferred in to play for them. Blanton not one of them, as he's just a freshman. He comes from Johnson Central High School in Paintsville, Kentucky. He takes the ball low and away, 1-1.
And many times when you have a lot of transfers like that, it's a lot of new faces. Guys have to learn how to play with each other, and that's why you're kind of looking at a 500 record right now, but starting to find a lot more success, especially against Ohio in these last 2 games.
Runners on first and second, 2 down here in the top of the 8th for Marshall. The 1-1 to Blanton. Misses inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And a fun fact for Blanton, he's actually a 2-time state wrestling champion.
Yes.
That's impressive.
The 2-1 fouled off, trickles back into the Marshall dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Blanton, excuse me. Blanton 1 for 3 today, a single in the 5th inning. He grounded into a double play his last time up in the 6th. Yeah, Blanton was named the Kentucky Male Athlete of the Year his senior year of high school because of the state wrestling championships, and obviously a heck of a baseball player. The 2-2, line drive, base hit, right field. Bourne picks it up on a hop, he throws it in, and now Rote fires to third, and he got him. Dakota Robbins was caught in between whether to go home or not, and he ended up slipping on his way back to third. A good play by Rote to fire quickly over to Giannini, and a good quick tag by Giannini. And that'll do it for Marshall here in the 8th inning. No runs on 3 hits, and 1 left aboard as we head to the bottom of the 8th. 7-4, the Thundering Herd lead over Ohio. We'll be right back from Athens. Michael Klein in the 1st inning. Only 3 hits since in innings 2 through 7 as McCauley leads it off for the Bobcats. Mark Meyer still on the mound for the Herd. First pitch to McCauley, high and tight, 1-0. Dan McCauley did not play yesterday against the Thundering Herd. He's 1 for 3 with a double today. The double came back in the 1st inning, the 1-0. Misses low and away, 2 balls and no strikes to the redshirt freshman. McCauley struck out his last time up in the 5th, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd. The 2-0 for Meyer. And it misses just outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
So I'm going to guess McCauley would have the green light to swing here, but many times in a 3-0 situation, you kind of just watch it go.
The pitch at the knee, strike 1. And Mark Meyer is currently in this is his 4th inning of work for the Thundering Herd. Meyer had only pitched 14 innings all year for Marshall out of the bullpen coming into this one. Now the 3-1. Line drive straight to the third baseman, Cody Matthews. McCulley's robbed of a base hit, and there's one down here in the 8th.
That was a rocket to third, and a great awareness there to be able to put your glove up as Matthews able to make the play.
And that'll bring up Aaron Levy for Ohio. Levy 1 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. The pitch, low and inside, 1-0. Levy flew out to the right fielder Hannon his last time up in the 6th, singled back in the 4th, and walked in the 1st. The pitch. A hard line drive, deep center field. Going back is the center fielder Zaban, and he watches it one hop off the wall. Levy rounding second, and he's going to hold up. He thought about 3. Instead, he dives back safely. Aaron Levy's in with his 7th double of the year, 1 on, 1 out for Ohio.
Number 14.
Read the pitch beautifully, got a great contact on it, and actually the wind kind of blew it around, kind of confusing the center fielder's Zaban, excuse me, as he couldn't really find where the ball was. By the time he saw it, it landed on the warning track. Great hit.
And that'll bring up Tony Giannini for Ohio. Giannini bats from the right side. He's 0 for 1 today. He reached on an error as well and walked. Levy on second, first pitch to Giannini. Fouled off right off his front ankle. 0-1. Giannini walked in the 1st inning. Flew out to the left fielder Linder in the 4th and reached on an error by the pitcher Meyer his last time up in the 6th. Levy leads off a second, 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th for Ohio, down 7-4. The 0-1 to Giannini. Curveball hits him on the front shoulder, and he's going to take his base. 1st and 2nd, only 1 out for Ohio here in the 8th.
Yeah, it's gotten very interesting suddenly, and Devin Garcia, a hitter who really is known for putting the ball in play and really be just a solid contactor. Excuse me, Funderburg first, my bad, excuse me. But now a great chance for the freshman to try to really carve into this lead. Now remember, Ohio, they rank as one of the top MAC top hitting teams. They have struggled the last 2 days. Obviously, they struggled from innings 2 to now 8 at hitting, and looking to finally get back on that. They're really struggling. Lead the league in hits with 328. Today, just 6. But now a perfect chance to try to really make this a ball game again.
And we'll see if the Thundering Herd decide to take out Mark Meyer. I don't think they will. Meyer will stay in the game for Marshall. Traben Funderburg, the freshman shortstop, in a big spot here in the 8th. Funderburg has reached once today on a fielder's choice in the 6th, his last time up.
And Funderburg has had a couple chances today to try to, have that moment that he wants. But now 0 of 3, really struggling.
He flew out to the center fielder Zaban in the 4th inning. He grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 1st. Levy leads off a second, Giannini on 1st. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th for Ohio. Trailing Marshall 7-4. First pitch, Funderburg squares the bunt, lays it down the third base line. It trickles foul, 0-1.
An interesting strategy, try to get the men in scoring position, maybe a sacrifice bunt. Not sure what kind of speed Funderburg has.
The third baseman Matthews on that one was playing about a step behind the bag, so he might have been trying to bunt for a hit, but now Matthews is going to come and play about a step or 2 in front of the third base bag. Count 0-1 to the freshman, Traben Funderburg. Meyer sets, checks the runner. Now the 0-1. Inside, and that hits Funderburg on the hand. And he's going to jog down to first base. I was worried for a sec that hit the knob of the bat. But there's not even an argument from the catcher Robbins or any of the Thundering Herd inside the dugout. And now I think we're going to get a pitching change as Ohio has the bases loaded with just 1 down here in the 8th inning, trailing 7-4. And we'll step aside as we see who this new pitcher is for Marshall. 7-4, the Marshall lead over Ohio. The Bobcats with the bases loaded, one down here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back from the Wren. For Ohio here in the bottom of the 8th, one out. Levy stands on third, Giannini on second, Funderburg on first for Ohio as the top of the order, Devin Garcia stands in the righty's batter's box for the Bobcats. Evan Bourne, the two-hitter on deck. Gordon Cardenas is the new pitcher for the Marshall Thundering Herd.
A much more engaged Bobcats dugout.
Cardenas, the righty, faces the righty Garcia. First pitch to him, curveball on the outside corner, strike one. Cardenas, the senior righty from Manhattan Beach, California, a transfer from Auburn. He made 17 relief appearances with the Auburn Tigers in 2016, had a 2.7 ERA and 26 2/3 innings pitched. The 0-1 on the outside corner for strike two. Cardenas didn't allow a run in 11 of his 17 appearances with the Auburn Tigers in the SEC. He's now in the Conference USA with Marshall. Bases loaded for Ohio, down 7-4. One out here in the bottom of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, popped up into foul territory near the Marshall dugout and slicing out of play. So Garcia gets new life. Count stays at 0-2. Levy on third, Giannini on second, Funderburg on first for Ohio here in the 8th. The Bobcats are just 1 for 12 with runners on base this afternoon. Garcia awaits the 0-2 pitch. And he'll step out as Cardenas wasn't going to throw that pitch anytime soon. Cardenas this season 3-2 with a 4.56 ERA. The 0-2 pitch, lined foul once again behind the Marshall dugout down the first base line. Count stays at 0-2.
Garcia just trying to stay alive after taking the first two strikes in the exact same area on that outside corner. Right now playing some defensive hitting.
Garcia hitting just 200 with runners in scoring position this season. The 0-2 popped up once again out of play right behind the Marshall dugout. We'll do it all over again.
Hitting just 200 in runners in scoring position, but also 286 when they're loaded, so.
He's had a handful of chances with the bases loaded this year as Garcia. Dev 0 for 3 with a walk this afternoon. Struck out his last time up in the 6th. Walked in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd, and grounded out in the 1st. The 0-2 pitch misses way high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Devin Garcia. A big spot for the junior center fielder. The The 1-2 pitch. Misses low and away. A great job by Dakota Robbins behind the plate to slide to his right and block that ball. Count now even at 2-2.
This has been one solid at-bat for Garcia. Started out 0-2. Now getting back to 2-2, a much more doable situation for him. And as you mentioned, a huge spot.
Cardenas takes his sign from Robbins. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3. Count now full to Devin Garcia. What an at-bat for the junior. He gets behind 0-2, fouls off 3 straight pitches, and the count is now full.
A strike puts 2 outs on Ohio. A ball puts a run on the board.
And now we've got a stoppage in play as the home plate umpire
issues some kind of warning over to Marshall almost.
Jim Scaly wasn't happy with something he heard over in the Marshall dugout. He warns everybody in the dugout. Bases loaded for Devin Garcia. Ohio trailing Marshall 7-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball misses off the outside corner. Garcia walks, a run scores for Ohio, and it's 7-5.
And still with bases loaded, just 1 out. Ohio with a great chance to really take control of this game again. Can you hear that Ohio dugout right now? It is fired up. After they were sitting back for a while when they were down 3 runs, now down just 2 with runners loaded.
And this is the part of the lineup you want up if you're the Bobcats. Evan Bourne steps to the plate. Rudy Rode on deck. Tanner Picnic in the hole for Ohio. Bourne 0 for 3 today with a hit by pitch. The first pitch to him outside, ball 1. Tony Giannini now on third after he was hit by a pitch. Funderburg on second after his walk. And Devin Garcia on first after his walk. The only hit of the inning for Ohio is Aaron Levy's double. He just scored on the Garcia walk. The 1-0. Off speed at the chin, 2-0.
Cardenas really starting to get frustrated on the mound. Now he's going to get a little bit of talking to from the second baseman of the herd, Blanton. He's had what is that, almost 6 straight balls.
Ohio trailing Marshall 7-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, 1 out, the 2-0. Way high and outside, 3 balls and no strikes to Evan Bourne. And Cardenas doesn't have anywhere to put him.
And the dugout talking a lot over there for Ohio, really frustrating Cardenas.
The 3-0. Catches the outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike to Evan Bourne.
Big time pitch there.
Bourne just a .229 hitter, but he's hitting .312 with runners in scoring position for Ohio. The 3-1 pitch, lined foul, slicing out of play down the third base line. Count now full at 3-2.
Got to give credit to Cardenas. He never really lost control, gets 2 straight strikes, makes it all of a sudden a full count, despite being down 3-0 earlier in the count.
The Bobcats need a base hit. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the 8th, down 7-5. The 3-2 pitch. Sliced foul once again. Out of play down the third base line. We'll do it all over again.
This potentially could be one of the bigger pitches of the game. First, big moment in this game.
Giannini on third, Funderburg on second. The pitch. Popped up behind home plate in foul territory and out of play. That lands straight to our left, and we'll do 3-2 all over again.
It's now 3 straight foul offs for Evan Bourne.
The Bobcats with just 6 hits today. The bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 8th, down by 2. Giannini on third, Funderburg on second, Garcia on first for Ohio. Evan Bourne at the plate. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike three. Bourne chases a fastball high and outside, 2 away here in the 8th.
And that's a big swing, to say the least, in the game. One more ball would have scored another run. Instead, he gets Bourne to wave at it, and it's another out. However, Rudy Rote.
Rudy Rote steps to the plate for Ohio.
He's one of the more clutch hitters on Ohio. Right now, with bases loaded, you could really use a big hit from Rudy.
The junior's 1 for 3 with a walk this afternoon. Rote, the top hitter on this Ohio team, batting .359 this season. First pitch to him. Low in the dirt, ball 1, and once again, Dakota Robbins does a nice job to keep that ball in front of him. Rote singled his last time up in the 7th. Grounded out in the 5th, struck out in the 2nd, and walked his first time up in the 1st. Rote, part of the All-MAC defensive team last season for Ohio. He was a Louisville Slugger all-freshman team in 2016. He has yet to miss a game for the Ohio Bobcats in 3 years. The 1-0 pitch, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Rote played in all 52 games his freshman year, started all 59 last season, and has played in all 35 for the Bobcats this season. Bases loaded, 2 down here in the 8th. The pitch, inside, ball 3. 3-0 now to Rote. Giannini on third, Funderburg on second, Garcia on first for Ohio, down 7-5 to Marshall here in the bottom of the 8th. The 3-0 to Rote. Catches the outside edge, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, Cardenas has been there before, a 3-0 count, able to work himself back in it. Last at bat and struck out Bourne, trying to do a similar situation here to Rote.
The 3-1 pitch misses outside, ball 4. Another bases loaded walk, scores a run for Ohio. Rote is on for the 3rd time today, a couple of walks and a single. The bases stay loaded. Ohio is struck twice here in the 8th. And it's a 7-6 ball game. And now Tanner Picnic at the plate for Ohio. First pitch to Picnic. Just misses off the inside corner, 1-0. Picnic playing left field this evening for the Bobcats. He's 1 for 3 with a walk today. He flew out to right his last time up. Singled in the 5th inning, struck out looking in the 3rd. He walked his first time up in the 1st. Funderburg now on 3rd, Garcia on 2nd. Rote stands on 1st for Ohio. The 1-0 pitch. Off speed in there on the outside edge, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's amazing how much life has come back into Ohio in this inning. They were so down in the dumps just an inning ago, and now very engaged and have a chance to win this game.
The 1-1, swung on and missed, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tanner Picnic. Marshall 7, Ohio 6 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs, bases loaded for Ohio's Tanner Picnic.
That was an off-speed pitch that got Picnic to swing early at it. Nice looking pitch from Cardenas.
The 1-2 misses high and tight, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's that way. He's coming pretty close to hitting him again. If he gets hit, that's another run for Ohio. So Cardenas needs to settle himself a little bit more.
Picnic went deep yesterday for the Bobcats, a solo home run. Now the 2-2. Swung on, hit high, medium depth, left field. The left fielder Linder tracking in foul territory and makes the grab. Ohio gets a couple of runs with a couple of bases loaded walks. 2 runs on just 1 hit for the Bobcats. They had base runners because of 3 walks and a hit by pitch And Ohio trails 7-6 as we head to the 9th. We'll be right back from Bob Wren in Athens. Lead over Ohio here at Bob Wren in Athens. The top of the order due up for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Andrew Zaban, Shane Hannon, and Will Ray, the 1-2-3 hitters due up for Marshall here in the 9th. Jake Roan on to pitch for Ohio here in the 9th. Not a save situation. Ohio's all-time leader in saves with 28 in his career. The Bobcats down by 1 here in the 9th, 7-6. First pitch to Zaban, in there at the knees, strike one. Andrew Zaban, 1 for 2 with 2 walks this afternoon. He homered, a solo homer back in the 7th off of Eddie Cutt. Now he takes a ball below the knees, 1-1.
And it's amazing, at the time, that home run kind of just seemed like an insurance run at the time. And now it's a run-one game. That's a huge home run that he had.
The 1-1. A swing and a foul tip back into the glove of Dan McCauley. Count now 1-2.
But I tell you what, Ohio has given themselves a great chance in this game with that last inning.
Roan, the righty, as the band calls time and now steps back in. The 1-2 pitch just misses off the outside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Zaban. It's been an up and down year for Jake Roan. Now the 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Roan gets Zaban swinging. 1 down here in the 9th, and that'll bring up Shane Hannon. And for Roan, he came into the year tied for Ohio's all-time save record with 22. He quickly picked up 5 saves in non-conference play for the Bobcats to get to 27 for his career. That made it a program record. And now the first pitch to Hannon. Below the knees, ball 1. Roan, however, once we got into conference play, blew 5 straight saves, picked up a few losses, very uncharacteristic of the senior, as he misses high and away there, 2-0. And then this past weekend, he did pick up save number 6 in game number 2 against Eastern Michigan. The 2-0 now on the outside corner, strike 1.
And he comes with a lot of speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, a lot of velocity. Roan, who was a first-team All-MAC pitcher last season, had just a 2.04 ERA in MAC play last year as he gets Hannon to whiff. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now. Shane Hannon, 1 for 4 today. A double in the first inning. The 2-2 fouled off. Slicing out of play. Count stays even at 2-2.
And you can tell how much Roan trusts that fastball. He doesn't throw anything else, really, just throws quick fastballs, and no one can really catch up to it.
A 2-2 to Hannon. On the outside corner, strike 3. So Zaban goes down swinging. Now Hannon goes down looking. 2 down here in the 9th for Ohio.
Well, if there's anything that Ohio could ask for, it's a scoreless inning. They could really use it right now to give themselves a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Roan well on his way right now.
That'll bring up Will Ray for Marshall. Ray, the lefty, faces the righty Roan. First pitch. Lined foul, way out of play. Just a long strike, and the count's 0-1. Will Ray today, 1 for 4, a 2 RBI single back in the 5th inning. Picked up RBIs number 19 and 20 on the season. The 0-1. Popped up on the infield. The third baseman Giannini looking for it, finds it, settles under it, and makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down for Jake Roan in the 9th. Ohio's going to need some walk-off magic in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 7-6, the Marshall lead. We head to the home half. We'll be right back here in Athens. Marshall 7, Ohio 6, bottom of the 9th here at Bob Wren. The Bobcats trail by 1. Michael Klein, Dan McCauley, and Aaron Levy. The 5, 6, 7 hitters due up here in the bottom of the 9th for Ohio. Gordon Cardenas still on the mound for Marshall. First pitch to Klein, swing and a miss, 0-1. Klein 1 for 3 this afternoon. He was also hit by a pitch. The 1 hit, a grand slam back in the 1st inning. His 4th homer of the year. Now the 0-1 in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ohio has had half their season, 17 games decided by 2 runs or less this year. Now the 1-1 to Klein, popped up on the infield, straight up the elevator shaft. The catcher Robbins settles under it and makes the grab right at home plate. He fell onto his back, and there's 1 down here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Dan McCauley for Ohio. In those 17 games decided by 2 runs or less, Ohio is 6-11 this season. The Bobcats, who, as we've said, 17-18 overall, trying to get to 500, have played close ball games all season long, and they've just been on the wrong end of it.
So they're certainly built for the situation. It's just a matter of finally breaking through and getting a couple more wins.
First pitch to McCauley on the outside corner, strike 1. 7-6, the Marshall lead over Ohio. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. McCauley's the tying run at the plate. He's 1 for 4 on the afternoon, and now he checks his swing, sends a chopper foul down the third base line. And now Cardenas is ahead on McCauley, 0-2. McCauley a double, his second of the year back in the first inning. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the third, struck out in the 5th, and lined out to the third baseman Matthews his last time up in the 8th. That was a rocket off the bat of McCauley. It just went straight to Matthews at the third base bag. The 0-2, way high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dan McCauley. McCauley, the redshirt freshman, behind the plate today for Ohio. The 1-2 pitch, low and inside, count even, 2-2. Sun setting, lights on here at the Wren. Marshall 7, Ohio 6. The Bobcats have been out hit 11-6 today at the Wren. Badly needing a hit here in the 9th. The 2-2. Hard ground ball towards short. Blanton picks it up, fires across the diamond, 2 away here in the 9th.
And Ohio, just like that, down to their last out despite the late rally. Cardenas has really settled in after a rough 8th inning and has made it look fairly easy so far in the 9th.
Levy trying to keep the game alive for Ohio here in the bottom of the 9th. He's 2 for 3 today. He doubled his last time up in the 8th. First pitch to him. Off speed, misses high and away. 1-0. Levy, the freshman, walked in the first inning, singled in the 4th, flew out to right in the 6th. The 1-0. Misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And then the double, his last time up in the 8th, is what started that 8th inning rally. Ohio trails Marshall 7-6 here in the bottom of the 9th. 2 down. Aaron Levy at the plate. And he pops one up high, medium depth, left center field. The left fielder Linder settles under it, makes the grab, and that'll do it from Bob Wren in Athens. Marshall 7. Ohio 6 is your final score. Marshall out-hits Ohio 11-6, and it was just a struggle with the bats once again this afternoon for Ohio, Logan.
Yeah, and despite Ohio leading in hits overall in the league coming into this series, they just never got them awaken in this series, and that's really what led to 2 straight losses for Ohio. The pitching, however, also struggled. Ohio leads the MAC, second best in the MAC coming into this series with a 4.04 team ERA. But tonight, 11 hits, gave up 7 runs. Just really nothing was really working for the Bobcats in this series. You have credit to Marshall, who really made Ohio work and struggle at both the plate and on the mound.
Yeah, Marshall just came through with timely hits today. Final lines for each team. Marshall, 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and they only left 5 runners on base, did Marshall. So when they got runners on, they were able to bring them home this afternoon. The Bobcats, 6 runs on 6 hits, an error, and 11 left on base. They left the bases loaded in the first inning, because even though Klein hit the grand slam, Ohio loaded the bases once again in the first inning and couldn't bring anybody home, and they left 2 runners on in the 4th and another 3 runners on, the bases loaded in the 8th inning, did Ohio, and unfortunately couldn't get that timely hit that they were looking for. The 2 runs in the 8th inning were both bases loaded walks, and the Bobcats fall to the Thundering Herd 7-6 here this afternoon in Athens. Marshall improves to 17-17 overall. They get to 500. Ohio falls to 17-19 overall, and they will go to Kent State this weekend. Kent State, the top team in the MAC right now. Kent sits at 9-3 in the Mid-American Conference play, first place in the MAC. The Bobcats 5-7 in MAC play, tied for 6th in the MAC right now. Ball State holds the tiebreaker, so Ohio sits in 7th, in the Mid-American Conference right now. A big series for the Bobcats this weekend, though they badly need at least one, if not two wins against Kent State. It's going to be an uphill climb against the Golden Flashes this weekend. Once again, your final score, Marshall 7, Ohio 6, and your final lines one more time. Marshall 7 runs on 11 hits, 5 left aboard. Ohio 6 runs on 6 hits, 11 left aboard here at the Wren. For Logan LeDuc, I'm Gabe Genovese. Thanks for tuning in. So long from Athens.